Steel Toes and Scoreboards podcast. Word association, Dirty Curdy. First thing that comes to mind.
He changed the league, am I wrong?
God, I hate Tom Brady. He's talented, but yeah.
You just won't call him the GOAT, will you?
We should have called ourselves the hashtag Tits Podcast. 1,000 downloads a day, guaranteed.
Two idiots talking sports. I love it, bro.
Is he the best running back you've ever seen?
If he's not, then who is? Who do you put at number one, bro?
There will be a Detroit Pistons Bad Boys episode one day.
Man, you love that 2-year run, don't you?
No, I do. You can get a hot bat anywhere. You build around your pitching, or at least I do if I'm in charge.
Pitching and defense wins your World Series, hands down.
I came out of the closet as a Lakers fan.
Whoa, bro. Scared me there for a second.
Oh, sure bet. Sure bet. There will be an increase of boxing talk on this show. I love boxing.
I'm down for that anytime.
Our few non-sports episodes have been pretty well received.
We do a good thing by running a two-fold podcast.
Please put Pete Rose in the damn Hall of Fame.
Charlie Hustle, the all-time hits leader. It's political bullshit, and if he ever sees the Hall of Fame, it'll be after he's no longer with us.
I miss the NBA I grew up on in the 90s and the early 2000s.
The game isn't the same, but these kids can play.
We're starting to talk more hockey, and that's never a bad thing.
Puck the world, puck it all.
Puck the world, Kurt says. I promise you, I can work a pro wrestling reference into every episode. Want to see me do it?
Weird flex, but okay.
I can't believe, seriously, in all seriousness, I can't believe we've been doing this show a year now.
I can't believe people still listen after a year, you know. You have the perfect face for radio.
Oh, cut me deep, son. Cut me deep. He exploded a bird with a fastball. I seen it happen.
Randy Johnson, the big unit.
The big unit. So, I got a little soccer news for you.
No, let me stop you right there. That's a no for me. We don't talk soccer on this show.
All right, fair enough. Let me ask you, though. Does Kobe win 3 in a row without Shaq on the Lakers?
What do you think?
Well, that's pretty tough. All right, well, look at it this way. He's a future Hall of Fame quarterback.
Without question. And he's still so young. Lots of knowledge left in that kid.
All right, guys, enjoy the next episode of Steel Toes and Scoreboards coming to you now. All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Steel Toes and Scoreboards. Jared Atkins alongside the homie, Kurt Kelly.
What's up, man? It's fucking hot, dude.
It's hot. It is hot.
Southwestern Indiana, you gotta love it.
Yeah, we are coming to you live on a Sunday evening, which we don't do Sundays very often. Kurt has to work in the morning, but he's a night owl like me.
Oh, yeah.
I have a good job now, so
yeah,
I kind of flexible with my schedule. This is a kid weekend. I just took the kids back, but there's been so much newsworthy stuff going on the last couple of weeks that we couldn't pass up an opportunity to do a full-length current events episode, which is kind of what our weeknight chronicles are anyways, but this is just a more expanded look, and there is a lot of shit in these notes.
Yeah.
So,
a lot of news. Where do you want to start? Where are we going?
Well, first of all, I want to start by saying, which I don't know if I haven't told you this. I did an episode by myself last week Monday talking about this. We crushed our downloads, so we want to thank everybody out there. Now we started the podcast in May of last year. In June of last year, we set our record at 107 downloads for the month of June. We flirted with like 70-something downloads at the highest and like 34 at the lowest. But then we never saw them numbers again. And for the month of July, we had 207 downloads.
Yeah.
Now, so 7 days into this month so far. We're only setting at about 10, but
we haven't put in much content.
We haven't put in much content, so we'll see what happens.
Right.
But we have officially crossed 1,000 all-time downloads. So to those people out there, thank you.
Thank you, yes.
And we'll have more coming at the end of this episode about what's coming up in the future, especially with After 2 Beers, because the secret's out now. It is going down. It is going down next month. But before that, let's get into... and we're going to jump all over the place tonight.
Well, that's all right.
Let's talk about Bobby Bonilla.
Bobby Bonilla.
Bobby Bonilla Day.
All right.
So, July 1st every year, and since 2000, I don't know, 2004, whatever, every day from July 1st is known as Bobby Bonilla Day. Bobby Bonilla has signed the infamous contract with the New York Mets, and is still being paid out to this day.
What?
It's still being paid out to this day.
Holy shit.
He's not even playing. So this guy, Bobby Bonilla's lawyer, his agent and his attorneys, smoothest fucking guys in the history of the business. Okay? Smoothest guys.
Overrated, by the way.
But Bobby Bonilla was overrated. I was never a Bobby Bonilla guy as a kid.
Me neither.
Yeah, let's...
Like
damn it, it's been a minute. I don't remember what my butt was. Nope, this one. Wow, it was loud. Bobby Bonilla was overrated.
Yeah, overrated.
So, Bobby Bonilla last played in, God, I want to, somewhere in 2000.
Yeah.
Early 2000s, 2005. Anyways, the Mets had buyer's remorse after a while. They wanted out of this fucking contract. The difference is between the big four, baseball's contracts are the only one that are completely guaranteed contracts. So their agents got a deferral. So until 2035. So there's still 13 more years of this. Something like that.
Man, they got screwed.
On July 1st every year, Bobby Bonilla is paid $1,193,248.20.
I bet it's spent already.
It's the most, probably the most famous deferred payment contract in American sports.
They got screwed.
He'll be 72 when the payments are complete.
Holy shit.
Now, why this is in the news is because, I just love it. Like, it is, and trust me, it's a real thing. Like, if you're a true sports fan, you listen to sports talk radio every July 1st, somebody brings it up, Bobby Bonilla Day.
Right.
The reason we're talking about this today is somebody has got a hold of the contract.
Uh-oh.
The legitimate contract that was signed, and it's going to auction.
Uh-oh.
And Golden, and that's Goldin, Golden, who is one of the most premier sports memorabilia auctioneers in the business. It sold for like $180,000. Somebody's got a copy of the contract.
Oh my God.
Now, whoever wins this auction, they receive not only the copy of the infamous Bobby Bonilla contract, they get a 30-minute Zoom call with Bonilla, and Dennis Gilbert was the agent who brokered the deferment. Again, smoothest fucking guy in the history of the business. Sorry, what's LeBron's agent's name? Rich Paul? Clutch. Yeah, sorry, Rich. Move over.
Yeah.
But anyways, and he will get to spend a day with Bonilla in New York, which includes breakfast, a trip to Citi Field for batting practice.
I'd be ripping him a new asshole. Yeah. How bad he sucked.
Yeah. So, but Bobby Bonilla Day.
Bobby Bonilla Day.
So Bobby Bonilla Day. It's always a good thing in sports, and
the Mets got screwed there, dude.
The buyer's remorse.
Holy.
God, I remember this. I was middle school, junior high, something like. I just remember his agent. They deferred the count. They wanted out of the fucking deal. Sent him packing. Well, it's like you're going to pay this dude for like 25, 30 years. So until 2035.
I mean, what was he batting? Like 205?
Oh, man. He was batting under 300.
Yeah, definitely. Under 250. He's probably at the 250 mark, maybe. Overrated.
Vastly overrated.
Yes.
Not underrated.
overrated. I never really got the whole deal of him switch hit because he's terrible
at an alternate stance.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, yesterday, August 6th, the day after my birthday, Jake Paul was supposed to have a fight with Hakeem Rahman Jr. Okay? You know how I feel about the Paul boys.
Yeah.
One's in the WWE now, the other's clapping in the boxing world. Got a little clout. So they've had this big fight planned for months. They're going to fight at Madison Square Garden. Rahman used to be one of Paul's sparring partners. So they're going to... The fight's been scheduled to take place at the Garden for months. You know, Jake Paul owns MVP, Most Valuable Promotions,
Right,
his little song and dance, fucking douchebag. But anyways, they were scheduled to have the fight at I think 200 pounds was what the agreement was. Rahman planned to weigh in at 215 a week before the fight. This is going back last week. Okay, they signed the contract for about a 205. Jake Paul said he would come up to fight at 205. But I guess they've had months to prepare for this, and Rahman couldn't make weight. He tried. His body. If you've ever seen Hakeem Rahman, he's a bigger guy. He's naturally a heavyweight fighter.
Right. Okay.
He tried cutting weight. His body would not get down there.
So it'd be easier to add than it would be cut,
so,
right?
So Jake would come up. Jake agreed to come up like 5 pounds. You know, they're like, let's meet at 215, and Jake Paul said, no, I will not fight at 215. So they put out a statement saying that MVP and Jake Paul would not reward someone who has conducted themselves in such a deceiving and unprofessional manner. Basically, you know, you agreed to fight at this weight, you're not making this weight, that's unprofessional, you want us to come up in the agreement, yada, 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 a whole bunch of shit. And then they cancel the card, and that fucks everybody that was scheduled to fight at the event, which includes my girl, Amanda Soriano, who was involved in the fight of the year, the second biggest fight of the year back in April with Katie Taylor. You know, the women going at it, selling out the Garden.
Right. So
this whole card was thrown in jeopardy.
Fuck.
So here's the deal. Jake's a douchebag. I've established this. Jake Paul, you'll never find me, you'll never hear me. I'll just be a pimple on your ass, like, you know, whatever.
Yeah, you suck.
But I mean, you're a content creator. You've made millions. You come from nothing, and look at you go now. But you're still a douchebag.
Yeah, you suck.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, you're a rich douchebag, though. Congratulations for that.
You still suck.
But you kind of got to side. I kind of got to side with Jake here because
I
both
agree.
Rahman and, like I said, Rahman and Jake used to be kind of boys. They were sparring partners. Jake said it's unprofessional. If you sign a fucking contract that you're going to fight it this way, you fight it this way. There's millions of people, pay-per-views already sold, tickets sold, you meet it this way. Rahman, on the other hand, says if you were talking all this shit saying you could knock me out and you were whipping my ass in practice when I was a bigger guy, then why wouldn't you step up to fight? So Rahman's clapping back at him.
Well.
And this is where it got good. Rahman had put out an Instagram video last Sunday. I seen it, whatever Sunday was, the 1st or 2nd, whatever, 31st. It was Sunday the 31st. It was Ric Flair Day. We'll get to that in a minute. It was Ric Flair Day. I watched it live. Rahman put out a video saying, again, like I said, his body said, my body wouldn't do it. He said he don't understand why Jake Paul and MVP Promotions are shutting this down now. Give him extra time to make his weight or come up. He said he would fight Paul, let him have all of the purse except for the $5,000 minimum that they get, because he was that confident that he could, quote, knock Jake Paul the fuck out. So, and Rahman was backing it, saying when they were sparring throughout the last few years, according to Jake Paul, he was whipping Rahman's ass, you know, when he was bigger, so why not do it?
Right.
So anyways, the fight was shut down. Not gonna happen. MVP had sent over a new contract.
What did he do with all the tickets?
I fucking don't know. They're gonna ticket refund, or they'll honor them if another fight gets set up down the road. But Jake Paul, you're a douchebag, but I kind of got to take your side on this.
Yeah.
I mean, Rahman said he would still fight. He'd give up all the salary, except for $5,000, and we're talking a few $1 million in the purse.
He really wants to fight him.
Yeah, he really wants to fight him.
I'd say Jake Paul needs to fight him.
That's, kind of. Ask our boss. Well, I mean, he ain't my boss anymore, unfortunately. I miss you, dog. Ask our boss about Jake Paul, about the Paul brothers. He's not a Paul's guy.
Is he not a Paul's guy?
No. Callbacks. You like callbacks on this show to previous things we've talked about?
Yeah.
That's ESPN. That's ESPN going ape shit over there.
It is.
Maybe you ought to check it. Maybe we have some breaking news, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Safety kicks 65-yard field goal in the preseason.
What?
Chiefs' Justin Reed shows off his powerful leg with a 65-yard kick. He's a safety.
A what now?
A safety.
A safety kicker.
He's a safety, but he kicked a 65-yard field goal.
This
is preseason football, though.
That's pretty impressive.
That's 65 fucking yards.
That's 65 fucking yards.
That wasn't even in the notes. That's just happened now in real time.
And he's a safety.
Yeah.
Damn.
I can't even kick the ball 6 yards.
Me neither.
65?
And he don't even kick all the time.
He's a safety. He's a defensive back.
What the hell? Sounds like Andy Reid. Some Andy Reid's doing.
You know, I missed you. Fist bump.
I don't.
Okay, but you like callbacks to things we've talked about in further episodes, right?
Right.
Or previous episodes. There's a couple of callbacks in tonight's episode.
Oh, yeah?
The first one is about Demaryius Thomas, who passed away in his home in Georgia on December 9th, aged at 33 years old. He apparently, the reports have come out now, the autopsy report, he died from complications due to a seizure disorder. The cause and manner of death are pending the completion of laboratory studies and tissue samples, is what the medical examiner's office had said back in December. In the final report, the medical examiner said the manner of Thomas's death remains undetermined, and it was unknown if the seizure disorder was the result of natural causes or due to the impacts to his head during his NFL career. I take that back. So, Boston University told ABC News that Thomas had suffered from chronic traumatic encephalopathy, as we know as the bad word, CTE, which, again, is the degenerative brain disease suffered mostly by football players or professional wrestlers. Shout out, unfortunately, Crispin Maw.
Right.
The autopsy report said the same researchers said they did not believe Thomas's CTE caused the seizure disorder, however. He had traces of nicotine and marijuana in his system, but he was found dead in the shower. Neither was listed as a contributing factor in his death. And at the time of his death, some said Thomas's family members had said that he had suffered seizures for about a year before he died. It's funny because the guy never had any of those before.
Right. I'm thinking it's something a little deeper than that, you know?
Yeah.
I mean...
Now, he renounced his retirement from the NFL in June of last year. He was the first of 2 first-round draft picks in 2010. Broncos took 2 players in the first round in 2010. Demaryius Thomas was one, and he should have went... I don't remember where he went. But on the back half of the 2010 draft, they come up and took a quarterback, a young gunslinger out of the University of Florida, a Gator.
Tebow,
baby.
Tim Tebow.
Yep. Demaryius Thomas finished his career as the Broncos' second leading scorer behind Rod Smith. He is third in franchise history in catches behind Rod Smith and Shannon Sharp. There you go. I love Shannon Sharp.
He was damn good.
You talk about a guy that would talk shit all week long.
Yeah.
Talk shit to them. Can you imagine if they had social media back in those days?
God.
Shannon Sharp would kill these guys.
Yeah. He put up numbers every weekend.
Yeah.
course, he had somebody really was pretty good throwing to him also. I mean,
John Elway.
Yeah.
You know a Denver Broncos guy that I liked at quarterback that was solid but didn't get a lot of praise?
Jake the Snake Plumber.
Jake the Snake Plumber.
How did I know he was going there?
Jake did. I love all these wrong. Jake did not get a fair shake.
No.
Jake did not get a fair shake.
He did not. Jake
Plummer was.
He's a gutsy guy.
You know what? You've got your surefire winners and your perennial all pros and this guy, but I'm still one of the guys. Just give me a solid starting guy that's gonna get in there, manage a game, but he ain't gonna be afraid to sling one, and he's gonna stand in the pocket. He's gonna take
right. He's stick his nose in there, Plummer. 3rd and 1. He'll stick his nose in there and get a first down.
That was Jake Plummer.
Yeah, I like Jake Plummer. Yeah, I had no problem.
And I'm trying to think, was Plummer the one that got booted out for Tebow, or when was Plummer's run up?
Yeah, I think.
No. Jay Cutler booted Jake Plummer out.
Yep.
And that was at the time when John Elway and a couple other guys said that Jay Cutler had one of the best arms they said. And Cutler did have an arm.
Yes.
Cutler's problem was that maybe it was a little bit of IQ level, but Cutler didn't get a fair shake either.
No, he didn't. I don't think it was an IQ thing, though. I take it back.
There was protection issues with the line, and his receivers were never...
He never had an offensive line, no.
He put together... There was one really good year, like the 2010, 2011, 2012, somewhere in their era in Chicago, when Chicago and Green Bay were like neck and neck for the division, and then postseason contention. And
Heritage Hills?
Heritage Hills.
Yeah.
I worked with one of his offensive linemen and linebacker down for years.
A lot of good talents come out of that school, hadn't they? Hadn't there been a tight end?
Ken Dilger, Indianapolis Colts. Yeah. Kenny Dilger.
We put a pole barn up for his grandparents.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Man, we need to get Kenny Dilger on this show. You talk about giving us instant credibility. Kenny Dilger, I'm going to hunt you out on social media. You're coming along for the ride.
Yeah, Indiana boys here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, we're not known for football.
No.
The state, but...
it's a basketball state.
Yeah.
Moving on.
We
ever talk swimming?
I don't think we've talked any
swimming.
I don't think we talked any swimming.
Can we talk some swimming?
Well, if we have to, I guess.
I just want to talk it because I love the guy's name.
It is an Olympic sport. So.
It is an Olympic sport. That's why. Hey, we'll file it under the Olympic section.
There you go.
Like we did with the weeknight episode I did a couple weeks ago without you about
50-meter butterfly.
Well, we're going to do this Olympic swimming episode just because this guy's name is too legendary not to put in the episode.
I'll have a dog paddle.
The dog paddle?
Yeah, swim event.
What's a funny name but serious you think we could put in this guy's name? This is Australia, too.
All right.
What was that?
All right, mate.
Damn it, I got the button. You want to do it? Throw another shrimp on the barbie.
Matey.
Yeah. Okay. What's a funny, random, weird Australian name? Think of anything? I bet you won't get it. I bet you won't get it.
Merrimack.
Dick Kane.
Dick Kane.
Richard
Kane.
Dick Kane.
Richard Kane.
Damn it!
How do you get?
I don't know why that's funny to me.
How do you get Dick out of Richard anyway?
I worked with a guy.
I worked
with a guy. His name was Dick. So when he pissed me off, like, all right, Richard Head, that's enough out of you, Richard Head. I looked at him one day and I go, "You're a dickhead." And I took my hands. Shout out to my best friends. I stole this from them. I looked at the guy and went, "All right, Richard, you're being a dickhead." And I went like this, and it. Because I got the bald head,
Right.
So I start moving my hands on each side of my ears. It looks like I'm literally jerking my head. Yeah. So I shouldn't be laughing at this because it's involving sexual assault, but I just want to say, the name was too legendary not putting it. So Dick Kane, 76 years old.
Oh,
he's a high-level Australian swim coach. He's facing 20 different charges relating to sexual assault of young swimmers in the 70s.
Ooh.
He was charged by New South Wales State Police on June 22nd after being arrested at his home in Sydney. 11 more charges were added this past week in a Sutherland local court. The charges relate to 5 girls Kane was coaching in the 70s and the sexual assault of a woman back in the year 1992. Kane was granted bail because he has terminal cancer, and his case has been adjourned into the end of August. Promotional material for his swimming school before he retired in 2020, Kane said that he had worked with 11 world Olympic champions and been a coach for more than 40 years, which says to me, they let this guy go because he might die of cancer, and he molested like a bunch of women over 40 years. But that apparently in Australia that's okay because they said, well, you can just go home. That's literally what this shit was.
Wow.
Dick Kane.
Dick Kane.
Well, yeah, that's kind of weird how they would let it go all this time, and now all of a sudden,
What the fuck?
they just let him go.
The world's gone stupid.
They just let him go. Well, I bet you he can't do anything about it anymore anyway, so.
I mean, I don't think if your dick's still working, if your dick's still working at 76, I mean, hopefully though, I hope somebody will get in there and just snatch that little feller off and feed it to a crocodile, me matey.
Yes. Crikeys. This is the world's most venomous snake.
We're sitting awful close together tonight.
I know.
Because we haven't moved everything around the table.
Well, luckily.
I'm sitting here with Kirk Kelly, and we are bumping knees under the table in a very evocative and erotic manner. Stay tuned for 50 Shades of Fat and Fat.
Time out, bro.
You ever seen 2 fat men rub bellies together? It's like 2D7 dozers ramming each other. Wow, this got way off.
Swimmer.
Squirrel.
Oh, swimming.
Okay, we're done with swimming. Fuck it.
Thank goodness, because it let us way off. Holy crap.
We never record on Sundays.
Well, hey.
It's 8 at night.
No more swimming talk ever.
No more swimming.
No.
It better be. Technically, this is filed under our Olympic, and we don't do much Olympic stuff.
Right, okay.
NASCAR. 2 NASCAR pieces.
What you got?
Okay, first one. Kyle Busch. Escaped possible death over the weekend. Or actually, during the week, Thursday.
How's that?
You didn't hear about this? You're on your phone all the fucking time.
I know.
Google searching. You didn't see nothing pop on Google or anywhere? Oh, my God.
I don't look at much NASCAR stuff anymore.
Malls of America. Biggest mall in the world.
Yeah.
Minneapolis. 2-time Cup Series champion, Kyle Busch, who's an asshole. Everybody hates him. Everybody wants him to die. Completely unrelated, by the way. Nobody tried to kill Kyle Busch.
Right, okay.
I'm just saying that for headlines. Kyle escaped death.
There's a lot of bad vibe going his way, though.
Bloomington, Minnesota police. It's the Mall of America biggest. Apparently, Kyle was in there Thursday with his family when gunfire broke out at the Mall of America. According to police, 2 groups had got into an altercation inside of a Nike store in the mall. 1 group left, but 2 individuals in the opposing group I guess hawked off a couple rounds, then rounds were exchanged, they came back in. Customers were scurrying in all directions. Nobody knows what the fuck's going on. And Kyle took to Twitter, or a video was posted on Twitter showing Kyle Busch walking away. That was eBay. Kyle Busch walking away with his wife and children. They then posted videos on Instagram showing that everything that they was okay. They got out of the shooting. They said if you're seeing the news about the shooting, we got out, we are okay. And then he went out to race today. I don't know how he did. I don't know what happened in Michigan. But,
so it wasn't at just random.
It was
2 gangs or something into it.
It was squabble, and like most young kids in America, and I don't give a fuck if you're white, black, purple, got 2 wieners or 12 eyeballs. I mean, we got to be all gangsters and throw a couple firearm thugging and bugging. I also got some more NASCAR news that involves King James. Oh, what does that look for?
King James.
LeBron.
Oh.
You're looking at
In
me.
a
What's that look
NASCAR
for?
news?
You're looking at me like, what's LeBron and
He ain't
NASCAR got
driving
to?
no race car.
No, but you're wondering what LeBron and NASCAR's
he's
got
bought
to.
it. He's bought a team.
Los Angeles Lakers. Did I come out of the closet as a Lakers fan?
Yes,
I did,
you
didn't I?
did, yes.
Because you knew it for a while.
I think I did.
I mean,
yeah.
I still like to watch the Pacers, but I guess if I'm gonna hang my hat, man,
He's a Laker fan.
I'm a Laker. Yeah, you damn right.
Yeah, you
damn right.
gotta respect that. Yeah. I mean, at least you guys.
Magic Johnson, baby, Kobe.
At least
Kobe.
At least your team drafts to win championships.
That's right. Or because Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka pay the
the big
the
bucks.
NBA will.
Yes.
Anyways, LeBron James and his charity. LeBron has a charity called the LeBron James Family Foundation. They've got into NASCAR. Today, I did these notes last night, and this news broke like 3 or 4 days ago. So I'm going to try to,
All right.
At today's race at NASCAR, there was a paint scheme for Chris Buescher's number 17 car at Talladega. Or at Michigan, excuse me. Michigan, Talladega ain't done in August. It's got James's charity logo. It says King James on the design of it, promoting the phrase "We are family."
That's
and
a
for
Pittsburgh Pirates slogan.
for RK,
LeBron James can't take that.
hang on, for RFK Racing. Okay, this gets even deeper than this. RFK Racing is owned by Fenway Sports Group. Does anybody know what Fenway Sports Group is?
No.
When I say the word Fenway, what do you think of?
I think of Boston Red Sox.
Okay, Fenway Group is one of the managing partners of the Boston Red Sox. Okay, LeBron is a partner, one of the managing partners of Fenway Sports Group.
Really?
So James has an ownership stake in this car with the Boston Red Sox, the Pittsburgh Penguins, and a whole bunch of other teams. James has a piece of the number 17 and the number 6 cars under the motorsports team for RFK Racing. For those that don't know, the LeBron James Foundation was founded in 2004 with LeBron's mission to assist children and families in his hometown of Akron. One of the many initiatives that they put forward is the I Promise School.
He lives in Akron?
Well, I mean, that's where he was from.
Okay.
And basically, the school is focused out at-risk youth in Akron that if they can make it to school, LeBron pays for free tuition.
That's good charity.
So, I want to keep ball rubbing LeBron here. I'm giving him a nice tug.
Right.
They had a meeting earlier this week about LeBron's contract. Rich Paul, Clutch Sports CEO, LeBron's agent, told ESPN over the weekend that no new deal was agreed between the two parties. However, James and Rich Paul met with Rob Pelinka, the GM, new Lakers head coach Darvin Ham, and Jeannie Buss at the Lakers practice facility in downtown El Segundo, California, right outside of LA. Beautiful El Segundo, California. That's the same place where Fox Sports... No. That's the same place where the Rich Eisen show is filmed at.
Yeah?
I don't even know if it's still on the air anymore or not. Anyways, Thursday was the first day LeBron was eligible to sign a 2-year, $97.1 million contract extension with the team. What do you always say? That's a lot of
scratch.
Okay. Rich Paul will tell ESPN he expects both sides to continue moving forward with dialogue. Now, LeBron's coming up on his contract's final year when he opted out after 2018 and left, Cleveland.
Right.
He came out here. He's entering his final year. He's going to be making about $44.5 million this season. Okay. But he'll be 38 years old when the contract is up next year. Okay. Now, according to the new NBA collective bargaining agreement that was signed a few years ago, the maximum length of a contract player at age 38 or older can sign is 2 years, which I think is ridiculous.
Yeah,
I don't know, because of keeping teams from, wasting money on a player. I guess, I don't know. It doesn't, to me, that doesn't really do any favors for the player. I could be wrong, but anyways,
something seems off there. But anyway,
LeBron would have until June 30th of 2023.
And didn't he just put up his best numbers ever? Like a couple years ago or a year or two ago?
Yeah. LeBron has until June 30th of next year where he would have to sign an extension before becoming an unrestricted free agent. It's possible. Oh, I dropped my vape.
Uh-oh.
Right underneath the table. We'll get it here in a minute. Kurt's like, I'm going to save the vape.
I can reach it, I think. Yeah.
Well, Kurt's like, if I don't take the mic out and everything. Oh, you saved my vape, Dirty Curdy. Okay.
Oh.
Now you got to get your fat ass comfortable
There
again.
we go. All right. Back at you.
I think the audio's taking pretty good
Yeah,
considering
I think
we've got the AC running.
I think so.
It's too fucking hot. I was not going to sit here without the air conditioner on.
We're sitting there soaking in the air conditioner.
Yeah, we played a little wiffle ball earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Kurt's got a hell of a curve. Okay, anyways, LeBron James.
Anyways, yeah. LeBron James.
Squirrel!
Yeah, squirrel.
Okay. So James would have until about June 30th next year when he would to sign the extension. Otherwise, he'd become the free agent. I'm trying to focus here, sir.
My bad.
I'm trying to focus here.
There's a squirrel.
Squirrel. It's possible though. LeBron could come back and sign a 1-year extension, which would be somewhere in the ballpark between $47 to $50 million for the 2023-2024 season, with an additional year for a player option for 2024 to 2025. Why could that be a reason? Because LeBron has made reference that he would like to play with his oldest son, Bronny. You know,
Really?
Bronny is getting ready to enter his senior year of high school, making him NBA eligible for 2024.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
So,
Is he good?
I've never really watched Bronny play. Ask Adam Sweet about that.
Okay, I will.
Could you imagine LeBron?
That'd be pretty cool.
All right, let me clarify this. In the NBA, there's like 3 franchises that are like, you know, like the cat's meow. It's always been like the Lakers, the Celtics, and you can interchange whoever else you want in there.
Right.
Okay. This is the Lakers organization. This is Jeannie Buss and the Buss family's team.
Right.
Rob Pelinka's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But he's still kind of in charge. But realistically, when you have LeBron James, like, who's really in charge here?
LeBron James.
Like LeBron. So if LeBron puts word out that he's going to stay because he wants to play with
He's
Bronny,
probably staying. Yeah.
Bronny will end up on Lakers.
That'd be pretty cool, man.
Let's stay in LA for a minute here.
Has there ever been a father-son duo?
I don't know. On the same team?
I don't think there has. I mean, play at the same time even. I mean,
We would need Dole to answer that.
we'd have to dig pretty deep for that one.
Let's stay in LA for a minute. Monday or Tuesday last week.
Got Dodger news?
Dodger news for you.
Yeah, right
Monday or
on.
Tuesday last week.
Yeah.
What happened?
They made a trade or two.
No. You lost somebody. Dodger Nation lost somebody.
Vin Scully.
Vin Scully.
I'm sorry,
It's
Vin.
time for Dodger baseball.
Baseball.
94 years old.
Yeah,
67 years he called games for the Dodgers, all the way back to their days in Brooklyn.
that's pretty impressive. I remember him the most with Joe Guerrero-Giola.
I'm just going to let you talk about Vin Scully a little bit.
Oh, Vin Scully was the cat's meow as far as baseball
Just
announcer.
tits, baby. Just tits.
I mean, as far as the baseball announcers go, smooth. Always complimenting. I don't know, what a class act. What an ambassador for baseball. We truly lost an ambassador for baseball.
I don't
At a time when baseball...
I don't know anybody in the world ever that could ever say a bad word about Vin Scully.
I mean, either. That's why I say he's always complimenting, always professional in all senses.
I got a quote for you here.
All right.
Dodgers president and CEO Stan Kasten
Yeah.
released a statement after Vin's passing. I'd like to read that for you.
Yeah.
Kasten would say, "We have lost an icon. Vin Scully was one of the greatest voices in all of sports, unlike me or Kurt." Vin Scully, he was a giant of a man, not only as a broadcaster, but as a humanitarian as well.
Yeah.
He loved people. He loved life. He loved baseball, and he loved the Dodgers. And he loved his family. His voice will always be heard and etched in all of our minds forever. I know he was looking forward to joining the love of his life, Sandy. Our thoughts and prayers go out to his family during this very difficult time. Vin will be truly missed. Now, his wife just passed away about a year or two ago.
Wow.
And that makes me think there's no greater like heartbreaking love story than when
right.
Johnny and June left each other.
Right.
June died, and 4 months later,
Johnny died.
Johnny passed away too.
Right.
You tell me that ain't the ultimate heartbreaking love.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he went peacefully. Scully died in his home in the Hidden Hills section of Los Angeles. Major League Baseball Commissioner Rod Manfred weighed in, said, "Today we mourn the loss of a legend in our game. Vin was an extraordinary man whose gift for broadcasting brought joy to generations of Dodger fans. In addition, his voice played a memorable role in some of the greatest moments in the history of our sport. I am proud that Vin was synonymous with baseball because he embodied the very best of our national playtime. As great as he was as a broadcaster, he was equally great, if not better, as a person. On behalf of Major League Baseball, I extend my deepest condolences to Vin Scully's family, friends, and to Dodger Nation and admirers everywhere." So I got something I want to share with you here.
All right.
He was the longest tenured broadcaster with a single team in professional sports history. And to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, okay, it began in the 50s. Pee Wee Reese and Jackie Robinson. On to the 60s with the Don Drysdale and Sandy Koufax. 70s with Steve Garvey and Don Sutton, as I point on your shoulder right now. Through the 80s with Oral Hershiser and Fernando
Valenzuela.
In the 90s with Piazza and Nomo, followed by the 2000s. Clayton Kershaw,
right.
Manny Ramirez, and Yasiel Puig.
Yeah.
Like, that's how far.
He was even a broadcaster when they was in
yeah, he was.
In New York yet.
Yeah, he was. He really was.
What was it? The Dodgers,
the Brooklyn Dodgers.
There you go. Ebbets Field.
Man, and we are, at some point, going to do some Yankees Brooklyn Dodger World Series.
We'll have to, yeah.
Because you got the borough of Brooklyn and the borough of the Bronx. Kershaw, so many other people have put out so many touching words, and so many tributes. It had so many positive things to say about Vin Scully. When I when I think of Vin Scully, I always just think of it's time for Dodger baseball. But in the 2 years I've known Kurt, especially since we've run this podcast for a year and a half now, when I think of Vin Scully, I think Kirk Gibson.
Yeah, call him Kirk Gibson's home run, yeah. There she goes.
Yeah. So
she is out of here.
She is. Just I ought to play that. You want to play that for me?
Yeah, play it for me.
That's okay. Let's pause. All right, here we go. Shout out Major League Baseball. Wait a minute. That wasn't Vin's call, was it?
Yeah, that was Vin.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, yeah. The improbable.
Kirk's favorite word. Pandemonium.
Yes.
Boy, that is loud.
What a call.
But anyways.
Your shipping manager left to find himself.
Oh, you shut up, you two. We're busy over here.
Yeah, but Vin's going to be missed.
And he was paid by the Dodgers. That's how he made his living.
Yeah.
He was not afraid to criticize the Dodgers managers, bad players.
Yeah, I mean, very straightforward.
He retired in October of 2016. They had a touching tribute to him before the game. Let me see. I got some more Vin notes here. He was born November 27, 1927 in the Bronx. as a kid, he would grab a pillow and put it under the family's four-legged radio, laying his head directly under the speaker to hear whatever college football game or basketball game was being called, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
He briefly served in the U.S. Navy. He would soon join Hall of Famer Red Barber and Connie Desmond in the Brooklyn Dodgers radio and television booths. And in 1953, at 25 years of age, Vin Scully became the youngest person to broadcast a World Series game, an achievement that still stands today. When the Dodgers moved west in 58, he went with them.
Yeah.
He called perfect games for Larson, Koufax, and Martinez. He called record games and seasons for Drysdale, for Hershiser. Hank Aaron hit his 715th home run. Listen to this. Quote, this is an iconic call. When Hank Aaron hit his 715th home run to break Babe Ruth's record 74, it was against the Dodgers. And, of course, Scully called it and said, a black man getting a standing ovation in the Deep South for breaking a record of an all-time white baseball idol. What a marvelous moment for baseball.
Here it is. Can't say it any better than that.
So, I don't want to spend a minute more time on this, but
we'll miss you, Ben.
Scully's going to be missed. He was inducted into the Cooperstown in 1982. And, yeah. So.
Moment of silence. Yeah.
Moment of silence for Vin Scully. Excuse me. Okay.
All right.
Extra moment of silence. Need a water break.
All right.
I've been drinking shit out of water lately.
That's good.
That's good. Maybe I'm dying. Shouldn't say that. Kurt's like, what the fuck?
I mean, we're all...
Should have seen the look Kurt gave
We're all
me.
dying. I mean, every breath is closer to our last.
Do you give your body enough water?
No.
I don't even. I bet you've been drinking the shit out of it at work lately, ain't you?
Yeah, I have.
You see what that says right there?
Blueberry mango.
See, I've got my regular tobacco flavored vape, my rechargeable.
I'm proud of you for quit smoking, dude. That's pretty good.
But I gotta have one of those Rudy Tooty fruity flavors, the disposable ones.
Right.
So I get like gas station disposable ones, and they're like grape. They've got banana, mango. I ain't tried the banana. This was blueberry, and I love blueberry stuff.
That really satisfies your nicotine craving.
I mean, I haven't had a cigarette since like June, the first week of June.
Pretty good, dude. Impressed.
I mean, I'm still vaping, but hey, at least I ain't smoking,
Okay,
right?
right.
All right, hey, tennis.
Okay.
We just talked some tennis the other week, remember? Because
Yeah.
I said you can have a super team in tennis, and you're like, how? That was. I titled the episode Super Teams in Tennis. And I guarantee you, everybody that's seen that on the episode list or seen it on wherever they found us on the audio channels looked at that and like, what in the fuck are these idiots talking about? How can you have a super team? First super team in tennis history.
Who did I pick?
I don't even remember.
I don't even
Bjorn's on there, and
Borg, yeah. McEnroe.
McEnroe should have been, yeah.
Jimmy Connors.
Okay, so Rafael Nadal has withdrawn from next week's U.S. Open tune-up event in Montreal due to some abdominal pain that forced him to miss the semifinals in Wimbledon last month. He's number 3 in the world rankings right now. His quest for a calendar Grand Slam ended when he had to pull out of Wimbledon. He's 36 now. He's won 22 majors. He's a 5-time champion at the ATP 1000 event in Montreal, which begins tomorrow morning. He's been practicing for a while now without serving and started serving 4 days ago. He's still just a little bit uncomfortable, so he's just going to pull out for a little bit. He said, after speaking with my doctor, we prefer to take things a more conservative way and give a few more days before starting to compete. Now, Wimbledon champion Novak Djokovic, who I love, Djokovic can't enter Canada without being fully vaccinated. That is a legit thing. I don't know if you know this or not, because there's been some issue with some professional wrestling events going on north of the border. If you're not fully vaccinated, an athlete, you're not getting into Canada. That's a legit thing.
Huh.
Yeah, I know. You're just looking at me. So Djokovic Djokovic, who has said that he will not get the vaccine, he won't be able to be there, so he withdrew from the event. So,
would you like to share your experience with vaccine?
So here's the thing. My show, Kurt's show, my time to talk. So when I met Kurt Kelly, it was January of 2020 when I started. And as we know, COVID had really just started to come in the news, just a small smattering about a month or two before, like November, December 2019. And then it started chirping in the news a little more. And then March of 2020 is when it fucking exploded all over the country. And me and Kurt were both in the same mindset. We're not getting fucking... You're not sticking a needle in me. Even if they find a vaccine. Chances are I might have got one, but more than likely I would not have got it. Not that I'm anti-vaccines. I vaccinate my children and everything. I'm not an anti-vax. I just... in my mind, a vaccination pushing through this fast without years of research, I didn't trust it. Fast forward to July of last year, I carried as a pallbearer to his grave one of the best fucking men I've ever met in my life. And he had contracted COVID and fought for his life for 3 weeks before he went into a coma the last week. And then his family had decided... His family was on the verge of having to pull the plug, and he made the decision for him as he passed away over the night before. So, I last sent him a text a few days before he went into a coma. He responded, and then So when I lost him, I made the decision. In August of last year, I got vaccinated for COVID. 2 doses. January of this year, contracted COVID. Was at home recuperating when Jasper Police Department accused me of theft. About swing and a miss, baby. Swing and a miss. I'm going to get pulled over on the way home now. Swing and a miss.
Holy shit, swing and a miss.
And then, I have not got a booster shot. Probably won't get a booster shot. And then, about a month ago, I got it again?
Yeah.
So, what the fuck?
Not a happy camper.
Now, you say, hey, Biden, the creepy little banjo boy from Deliverance.
Yeah.
He's been double boosted and double vaccinated, and he's got that son of a bitch like Ford. He got over it, and 3 days later got it again.
Well, I mean, what's in that shot? They're giving you COVID is what they're doing.
Oh, he's fucking, I don't know.
I mean,
But Djokovic said he will not get vaccinated, so... And there's issues going on with Canada with professional athletes. If you're not fully vaccinated, you don't cross the border.
I mean, I've got to be in a position where I respect everybody's decision, I guess. I don't know. I'm not vaccinated, but I haven't had any...
Hey, my body, my choice, right?
Right. And I haven't had any trouble with it yet, so...
Okay. We like callbacks on this show, right?
Yeah.
Callbacks are our favorite thing?
Right.
This is different than a Weeknight Chronicles, because we're more... This is a big current events. Cain Velasquez.
Yeah, I wondered about it.
We've been talking about this story for the last 3 or 4 months.
Right.
The attempted murder case in Santa Clara, California. So he went to court on Friday. He pled not guilty. Velasquez is pleading not guilty to this case. Now, for those of you that have no idea what we're talking about or don't remember but kind of do, so 40-year-old former world heavyweight champion Cain Velasquez is being charged with attempted murder and 10 other gun-related charges stemming from an incident that happened, I believe, in February or it might have been March. He chased down a man named Harry Galarte, who was being charged with molesting a young child who is a relative of Cain Velasquez and his family. He shot a gun into Galarte's vehicle, hitting Galarte's stepfather. Now, Velasquez has been in jail since February 28th, and he's been denied bail 3 separate times for this incident, okay? A pre-trial hearing is scheduled for September 26th, where,
I just can't see why he had to take a gun.
Well, we'll get there.
You know, I mean, that's...
Velasquez's attorney, Mark Garagos, is expected to be able to get witnesses to testify because they have a pretrial hearing on September 26th. If the case is not dismissed by that point, he said it would then go to a trial, which could begin before the end of 2022, potentially. Garagos said the prosecution will not be calling Galarte to testify at the pretrial hearing or at the trial, which he called nonsense. There will be a motion hearing August 29th to discuss whether Galarte not being a witness is fair to Cain Velasquez or not. Garagos said the one count Velasquez is facing could get him life in prison is the attempted murder, and Galarte is the alleged victim of said charge. Now, here's what's fucked up. Me and you talked about this. Galarte was released from custody February 25th without bail. 3 days later is when they decided they were going to lock Velasquez up. But on February 25th, they released Galarte from custody without bail after being arrested on a charge of lewd or lascivious act with a minor under the age of 14.
Is that not a violent...
Oh, God.
Is that not a violent act?
Yeah, that's...
and we're going to turn him loose?
Yeah.
No.
Velasquez's lawyer said they're desperately trying to run away from the fact that the system has failed Cain Velasquez in every way. They don't want to get into that. They want to try a case that's divorced completely from reality.
Right.
Garagos added the fact that he finds it a conflict that the same office is trying both Velasquez and Galarte in their respective cases, saying that it is serving, quote-unquote, like two masters. Now, what happened that day is Velasquez followed Galarte's truck in its own vehicle on an 11-mile high-speed chase through the city of San Jose, California. Velasquez, who is I won't say retired. I won't say semi-retired. I'd say semi-active.
Right.
Velasquez spends a lot of time down at AKA in San Jose, California, which is the American Kickboxing Academy, which I love AKA, guys.
Right.
Anyways, he rammed the truck multiple times, and then he fired off a .40 caliber handgun. I don't know if he did a mag dump, but he got off several rounds.
I mean, that's where it went wrong. If he just grabbed him and yanked him out of there.
So here's the thing with this. The gun got him in trouble.
Yes.
Now I'm saying, I don't know at what point they look at this, or if they look at it different versus how many rounds was fired. I don't think it was a full-on mag dump. If you dump 10, 15 rounds, that's another story. If you fire off 4 or 5, but maybe in the state of California, that doesn't matter, because California is way different with their laws.
Right.
Let me tell you, for those of you who listen to the show, even if you don't know shit about boxing or MMA, and you hear me talk boxing in every weeknight episode, Cain Velasquez is a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
He don't need a gun.
No, he don't need a gun.
He is a former, UFC heavyweight champion. He can wrestle. He can kickbox. And when I tell you he can kickbox, this boy is built like a bad man.
Brock Lesnar. Just ask Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Heavy hands.
Oh, God. So, now, this relative of Velasquez's family is under 10 years old. This child told police that Galarte had took them into the bathroom of a daycare center and touched their privates. The child said Galarte said, "Don't tell anyone what happened," and that this situation is reported to have occurred over 100 of times, not just with Velasquez's relative, but with multiple children.
He needs to be shot, but
yeah. The daycare is owned by the victim, Galarte's mother. She and Galarte have denied any wrongdoing. Velasquez's family has also filed a negligence and sexual battery lawsuit against Galarte and his mother, Patricia. Galarte pleaded guilty to his criminal charge in June and is scheduled for another date in September 20. Now, while he was released, he is on
probation,
pre-monitoring. He is wearing the bracelet. He is being checked in on. He can't be within X amount of feet of minors or public parks.
But at the same time,
he's walking free, and you've got. And I always say that celebrities aren't held accountable to the same rules we are. Professional athletes are celebrities; are in that same vein. But here, apparently, on this case, that doesn't hold true.
Right. I mean, I don't care who it would have been. They would have been after that guy. I mean, I would have certainly been after him.
Okay, here's what's going to happen. Like, this is going to piss a lot of people off. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Paul Galarte needs taken out back.
Yeah.
Doesn't need shot. You don't need shot. None of that. Somebody needs to take a dull penknife. A dull knife cuts you and hurts you far worse than a sharp knife does.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to take a penknife, like an old ratchet, dull, rusty, like penknife from the 1800s.
Yeah.
And you need to cut that boy's cock off.
Yeah.
And feed it to a Rottweiler.
Yeah.
And I was saying that, and I don't give a fuck who unfollows the show after I say that.
Right.
Cut that boy's dick off with a rusty penknife.
Yeah.
Feed it to a Rottweiler. And then just finish letting Kane tag him up. Just let Kane get in there and just tag that boy up. Because he's going to hurt him and he's going to hurt him bad.
Yeah. I mean, he's got it coming.
Maybe Kane overreacted in this situation.
Hundreds of times.
And multiple children. Potentially.
Yeah.
I want all of you listening to this as a father.
They ought to put Kane and him in the same cell.
I don't know how many women we get to check the show out. But I guarantee you, majority of our listeners are male.
Right.
I want you out there as fathers to listen and tell me that you wouldn't get in there if you were Cain Velasquez and do the same goddamn thing he did. Now, maybe you wouldn't took a gun. Again, he got in trouble with this whole mess about a gun. I mean, well, even if he would have beat the shit out of this guy, he was going to get persecuted for something.
Used these natural guns.
Yeah. Say hello to Mr. 9mm Glock, Mr. Ruger 1911 45 ACP right here, baby.
Yeah, I mean,
Velasquez didn't need guns, but you know what? I fully support Cain Velasquez.
I do too.
I hope he gets out soon, which probably won't happen. He's potentially facing a life sentence in prison.
Well, they're going to make the thing a gun thing, like everything else. So, they're trying to take her gun.
California is full of a bunch of liberals and overly sensitive pussies. So there you go. I shouldn't say it's true. Hot take. You want me to?
Yeah, hot take.
Sorry to our loyal California listeners, because we have been picking up a lot of downloads in the state of California lately. I don't know where they're coming from.
Time to put your big boy pants on.
Yeah, we don't mean to offend you, but maybe you're a transplant from somewhere else, so maybe that's okay. Maybe you're just temporarily living in Cali for a little bit.
Yeah, that state's got it all wrong.
Man, they got some hot ass women out there, though.
Oh yeah.
Can we say hot ass women? Is that still allowed?
I think I'll say hot ass women. Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of California, I said we were going to jump around tonight, but it seems like everything is segueing perfectly with like a player or a team or a location.
What you got?
UCLA.
Bruins.
No longer in the Pac-12.
Yeah, what the fuck is going on here
Didn't they move to the Big Ten?
The Big 20?
There's going to be an episode coming down the pipe, because we've not done one episode about college football, college basketball, college hardly anything. We need to talk about this. I just want to rant and bitch and rave about this.
Me too.
But bear with us.
Think of that, the flight, the distance for a Big Ten matchup.
I was pissed off 3 or 4 or 5 years ago when
Maryland
joined.
And Rutgers joined.
Okay, Rutgers is a Big East school. Maryland is an ACC school. What the fuck is this? What does Maryland have? Notre Dame's an FBS independent. Why is Notre Dame?
And why is Northwestern in? I mean, they're one of the originals, I guess, but at the same time, Notre Dame would be a good replacement for Northwestern. But what is it now? The Big 15 or 16?
It doesn't make no sense, does it?
It doesn't. No.
It's stupid.
You got to wonder if the UCLA, if there's any Steve Alford ties there coming to the Big Ten. And he's not even the coach there anymore, though.
He's not?
I don't know. Maybe he is.
I thought he was. I could be wrong. Anyways.
Yeah. They don't need to be in the Big Ten. And they come out of the Pac?
Pac-12.
Pac-12.
Remember when it used to be Pac-10?
Yeah.
Man, sports got crazy.
It's gone crazy, yeah.
With the world. But anyways, what were we talking about? UCLA.
Yeah.
Okay. They're about to receive a settlement of $67.5 million from Under Armour, of all places.
Really?
Yeah.
For?
Okay, so this is a fucked up thing. Okay, so I had absolutely no idea about this story. I didn't hear nothing about it going back earlier in the year. Apparently, this has been there's been a little bit released every couple of weeks about this. So,
Paging Dr.
no,
Atkins.
that's one of the homeboys. I can't answer that right now. I'm podcasting. Okay, so damn it, I didn't silence my phone, boss. I'm
It's all
sorry.
right. No worries.
I got to put $1 in the kitty.
Nah.
All right. So, okay. Focus. Kurt, fill time. I need a drink.
Yep, right on.
I'm getting ready.
We
haven't plugged a single sponsor. There's a reason for that.
What's that?
I cannot find my sponsor. My sponsor notes. So I'll just tag everybody on Facebook
There you
later.
go.
We'll just
There you
promote all the people we tag later.
Right. There you go. That works. Gulp, 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 gulp.
Especially our girl Nan. I'm drinking the shit out of water, lady.
Gulp, 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 gulp.
I gotta pee again. I just peed like an hour ago.
He's got to pee again.
You know what? We'll hold it for a while.
He's going to hold it for a while.
Okay, shut up. That's creepy. Okay, so get back. So you haven't heard about? Oh, yeah, I gotta tell you a story.
Yes.
Sidebar. Our show. This is bonus content for you guys. So, as I've told you, the last day I ever worked with you was May 6th.
Right.
Okay. As I told you, one of the things I was doing this summer with the kids and this new job is I got a lot of flexibility. But I was taking each one of the kids, each one of the three, on their own, like, one-day adventure with me.
Right.
So what it is, they would get, like, one night at home with me. They'd spend the night with me just by themselves, and then we would go out for an adventure. Bentley wanted to go to wrestling. So we went down to, Oak Grove, Kentucky. That was like 2 weeks before summer vacation started, so he just said, count that as my one day with you. Okay, Briley wanted to go to Sky Zone, so I picked her up. She spent the night with me. We went to Sky Zone the next day. I took her back home.
What's Sky Zone?
Sky Zone is like where I think I got the Rona. It's like wall-to-wall trampolines and shit.
Okay. That'd be
You
kinda
should have
cool.
seen my fat ass jumping on a trampoline, dude. I'm telling you. So they had this one rock wall that these kids were climbing and shit. They were doing flips and back flips off. Like, they were like 10, 15 feet in the air, falling into this foam pit.
Right.
Just padded foam. And she looked at me and I said, there ain't no way I'm getting up there, honey. I said, if you want to scurry your little ass up or get up there anyways. So, and then my youngest one, Riot Grace. So I picked Riot up on Thursday morning. I picked her up on Thursday morning, and I was just going to keep her overnight Thursday, since I would have had to pick the kids up Friday anyways, like I did because it was my weekend.
Right.
So I picked her up Thursday morning, and we went to lunch, and then after lunch, she wanted pizza. So unfortunately, Hostie's wasn't open yet. Hostie's Pizza. It's the pizza bar and buffet down by the movie theaters. And Brick Oven Pizza and Honeybird's got a pizza buffet.
Okay.
So
it's pretty good pizza?
Oh yeah, she really wanted pizza, but those places weren't open. So we went to Fazoli's. She called it a pizza restaurant because they keep bringing breadsticks and pizza slices. Went to the movie theaters, took in an afternoon matinee on a very hot day, and then Thursday night she was playing in the kitchen with my dad, and she would keep picking on him. She'd had this creepy looking fucking doll.
Oh no!
So he always bitches because she never spends time with him because he always picks on her. Well, she likes to pick back. Well, she snuck into the kitchen and he's seen her, but she didn't know that. She ducked down under the island and would just raise that doll up and was speaking in like fucking tongues. Like, she was like, "Hello, Papa. Do you want to follow me to the dark room, Papa?" Like, I'm like dead serious, bro. Like, dead serious. Anyways. I wish you were sitting here. Are you going to work? You going to work? But anyways, it was creepy as shit, dude. It was funny,
That sounds very funny. What'd your old man do?
He fucking freaked out. He's like, what the hell? And then she came running back in the room and scared him. And I missed the golden opportunity. Because I told him the next morning, I said, I should have took that doll and turned the head sideways, set it in your truck, so when you open the door at 5:30 in the morning, he said, I'd have shot you.
Really creepy looking doll, huh?
Yeah. But anyways, that's where the creepy thing comes.
Okay.
Where the fuck were we? UCLA.
Yeah.
Lawsuit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Suing.
They're for terminating a record apparel sponsorship deal. On May 26th, the two sides agreed to the settlement, which required Under Armour to pay UCLA $67 million, almost $67.5 million. It was like 67.4, and absolves both parties of any liability. In June of 2020, Under Armour had informed UCLA that it intended to terminate a 15-year, $280 million deal to be the school's apparel sponsor, citing marketing benefits that UCLA had not provided. Basically, you guys aren't doing shit and wearing the gear we're providing you in appearances. Well, all athletic events were stopped in 2020.
Right.
Even
COVID,
college
right.
campuses were not COVID.
Right.
So the brand's not being out there. The deal signed in 2016 was the largest sponsorship agreement in college sports history at the time. In August, the next month of 2020, UCLA sued Under Armour for more than $200 million for a breach contract. And then a year later, September of this past year, 2021, in a pissing contest to see whose theoretical dick was bigger, Under Armour would come back countersuing UCLA, claiming the school violated a separate agreement by covering Under Armour logos with social justice patches and Black Lives Matter stuff on the uniforms of football and basketball teams. So both sides are in a pissing contest.
Oh boy.
And then, in June, UCLA decided they were leaving the Pac-12 to join the Big Ten. In 2024, the Los Angeles Times reported that UCLA's athletic department had a debt of more than $100 million, which stems from part of the loss of the Under Armour agreement. That was a big chunk of money for them. So in December of 2020, UCLA partnered with Nike and Jordan Brand that will pay the school about $46 million annually. So, yeah.
Okay. UCLA.
Yeah.
University.
Yes.
What is it?
University of California, Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I got a text from the ex-wife.
Uh-oh.
You want to take a break?
Yeah, we'll take a break.
I got to pee. I'll never smoke weed with Willie. And we're back. They never even know we were gone.
Right.
So I was just telling Kurt, we went outside and took a break.
Play some wiffle ball.
Or I could have just been peeing for the last 35 minutes and they'd never know the difference.
Right.
Got a little, we were getting ready to jump in the NBA, but before I do, got a little bit of NFL breaking news. Cleveland Browns running back Kareem Hunt has requested a trade out of Cleveland, but sources indicate that the team has denied that request. Hunt, who is in the final year of a 2-year, $12 million deal, missed team drills the past 2 practices, returned on Sunday.
So he's not confident about DeShaun Watson either, is he?
Well, Kevin Stefanski, Browns coach, declined comment Sunday when asked about the trade. He said, I'm not going to really get into anything that has to do with our players and conversations. He won't get into that. This just adds more turmoil for the Browns, who are waiting to see how long quarterback DeShaun Watson will be suspended for violating the league's personal conduct policy, which there's some DeShaun shit later in the notes.
I mean, it tells me everything I need to know about his way of thinking. He's out.
Kareem Hunt had 27 years old. He's been productive during his first 3 seasons with Cleveland, but he missed 9 games last season with ankle injuries. He finished 3rd on the team in rushing behind Nick Chubb, who is he's the horse.
He is the horse
that they hooked the wagon to. Now, what's interesting about Hunt is Hunt was part of a trio of rookie running backs who set the league on fire in 2017 when he was with the Kansas City Chiefs. He had 1,300 yards on the ground. He was released by Kansas City in 2018. If you guys can remember, that was after a video surfaced of him beating the shit out of a woman.
Yeah.
And he signed with the Cleveland Browns the following season in 2019. So, just wanted to throw that out there.
I wonder what's he's got. I wonder what's
I think he's. I don't know. I don't know the story situation. My mind immediately goes to.
Wonder if he's going to get pulled into some allegations.
My mind goes two places with this. It's either one, he's like, okay, no DeShaun, we're going to suck. Fuck this, I'm done. Or it's, hey, I'm ready to be a feature lead back on a team again. I've come back. I did the I'm sorry tour for 3 years. Anyways, fuck them.
I hope it's the latter.
Yeah. We got some NBA news.
All right.
They're right now investigating tampering charges.
Tampering?
Like we're college teams again. They're investigating tampering charges against the New York Knicks' pursuit of signing guard Jalen Brunson. Teams aren't allowed to make contact with an agent or a player to discuss a deal prior to the 6 p.m. Eastern kickoff on June 30, the opening of free agency, and Bronson agreed to a 4-year, $104 million deal with the Knicks that night. Bronson, the reason this is suspicious is Bronson has several ties to the Knicks franchise. Team president Leon Rose, who made a series of trades following draft night, which could be argued was to create enough capital to sign Brunson, is a prominent former player whose first client was Brunson's father, Rick. Rose also represented Jalen at the beginning of his career. Rick was recently hired as a Knicks assistant. This is Jalen's father, which reunited Rick with Tom Thibodeau, for whom he was assistant in Chicago and Minnesota. So Brunson's, coming off a breakout season and where he was the number 2 option in Dallas behind the guy running one of the top 5 stars in the league, Luka Doncic. So the NBA in 2019, though, they rechanged the tampering policy. I think this shit is stupid. I can see it with college, with pros tampering. These guys are grown ass.
That's what I'm getting ready to
athletes.
say, yeah.
But rules are rules, and fuck them.
Yeah.
Fuck them. You go ahead and say it.
Fuck them.
Fuck them. Bill Russell.
Yeah.
So how many times have I said, and Adam Sweet, you have argued with me on this. Put any player on the face of Mount Rushmore you want. Bill Russell is the mountain you carve it out of.
Yeah, the championships speak for themselves.
Won 8 straight titles and 11 overall during his career. He passed away on Sunday this past week. 88 years old, Hall of Famer. He died peacefully with his family at his side. Arrangements will be announced soon if they haven't been already, which I know I was looking at this a few days after.
That's a bad deal.
People reached out everywhere. There was some statements coming out that I wanted to read about this. Did it say who this was from? No, it didn't. Who put out the statement?
There was somebody that said he was a kind of a butthole or something like that, wasn't it?
Well, he kind of was. I'm trying to look at my notes here. Anyways, over a 15-year period, beginning with his junior year at the University of San Francisco, Russell had one of the most remarkable careers of any player in the history of team sports. At USF, he was a 2-time All-American, won 2 straight NCAA titles, led the team to 55 consecutive victories. He won a gold medal at the 56 Olympics. During his 13-year career in Boston, he carried the Celtics to the NBA Finals 12 times, winning the title 11 times. The last 2 titles won while as both a player and serving as the NBA's first black coach. Bill Russell's DNA, the Celtics organization put a statement out on social media saying Bill Russell's DNA is woven through every element of the Celtics organization, from the relentless pursuit of excellence to the celebration of team rewards over individual glory, to a commitment to social justice and civil rights off the court. Our thoughts are with his family as we mourn his passing and celebrate his enormous legacy in basketball, Boston, and beyond. Adam Russell come out to say things. Jordan come out to say a lot of things. Russell was a 5-time MVP, a 12-time All-Star. He was an uncanny shot blocker.
Oh, yeah.
To this day, you still don't see guys blocking shots the way
he had an knack for it,
Bill Russell did. He finished with 21,620 rebounds, an average of 22.5 per game.
Wow.
Led the league in rebounding 4 times, had 51 rebounds in one game, 49 in 2 others, and posted 12 straight seasons with 1,000 or more rebounds. He also averaged 15.1 points and 4.3 assists over his career.
That's impressive.
However, I was an innovator, Russell once told the New York Times in a 2011 article. I started blocking shots, although I had never seen shots blocked before like that. The first time I blocked shots, my coach called timeout, pulled me aside, and said, "No good defensive player ever leaves his feet. Remember that, Bill." That's what his coach told him.
Right.
No good defensive player ever leaves his feet.
As a coach, I would have to say that's right.
That's right.
You don't leave your feet.
But yeah, let's tell Bill Russell not to go up and
Right.
Okay. So I wanted to get in, if that's okay with you. I know we're pushing 9 o'clock. Are you straight?
I'm
straight?
good. Yeah.
I wanted to get in how this came together just briefly. I put in the notes with how Russell got into the Celtics. Is that okay?
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
So with the 56 NBA draft coming up, the Celtics coach and general manager, Red Auerbach, was eager to add Bill Russell to his lineup. Auerbach had built a scoring offense around guards Bob Cousy, Bill Sharman, and Ed McCauley at center, who was undersized for a center.
Right.
If you remember. Unfortunately, that didn't happen because the St. Louis Hawks selected Russell in the draft. Look at him laying down eating. The St. Louis Hawks would take Bill Russell in the draft. The Celtics would engineer a trade to land Russell for McCauley. Boston then had a starting 5 of Bill Russell, Bob Cousy, Shawman, Tommy Henson. I don't remember that. Tommy Henson?
I don't remember that name either.
It was they were movers. The Celtics posted the best regular season record in the NBA in 56 and 57, waltzed through the playoffs for the first NBA title, beating the Hawks. In a rematch in the 58 finals, the Celtics and Hawks split the first 2 games at Boston Garden. Russell would suffer an ankle injury in Game 3 and was unaffected the remainder of the series. The Hawks would win with Bill Russell out.
Been Lenny Wilkins there? No.
Don't jump ahead of me here. Russell and the Celtics would then pretty much keep a tight reign of dominance over the NBA Finals after that point, going on to win 10 titles and 11 appearances, giving professional basketball a level of prestige it not seen. Let me skip ahead. I want to skip ahead a little bit. Okay, because this is... I know you wanted to talk about this with me talking about this. To answer your question, I had something about Lenny Wilkins in here. After he won his 11th championship in 1969 at age 35, Bill Russell retired, triggering a mini rebuild. During his 13 seasons, the NBA had expanded from 8 teams to 14, and Russell's Celtics teams never had to survive more than 3 playoff rounds to win a title. However, what he is probably most noted for, along with multiple titles, was his career-defining rivalry against...
Lenny Wilkins.
No. Who's the other big?
Wilt Chamberlain.
Wilt Chamberlain,
Wilt
my
the
brother.
Steel. Yep.
I want you guys to hop in your Google machine. I sent this picture to Adam Sweet. Adam made me feel like an idiot. There's a picture of Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain doing battle, and I said, "Who's this guy with Bill?" And he said, "You mean Wilt?" I said, "No, dummy." There was another player in the background wearing a Boston Celtics jersey, and I couldn't figure out who it was. But anyways, Adam thought I didn't know who the fuck Wilt Chamberlain was. But I'll show you. But there is an impressive picture that was taken in the 50s and 60s, and it's been redigitized and color added in and brought to life, and it is a phenomenal picture of these two giant. And from the angle that this camera shot at, both these dudes look like they're about 7'5". And it's just a tremendous picture. They're low down in the post, in the paint, they're battling.
Russell was 6'9".
Bill Russell was 6'9", and I don't remember how...
7'1".
Wilt was 7'1".
Yeah.
But yet, Chamberlain got his ass pounded a little bit here. I mean, so in the 59-60 NBA season, Chamberlain averaged a record 37 points per game in his rookie year with the Philadelphia
76ers.
Well, they were the Warriors.
Warriors.
Then, before they became the Golden State Warriors. On November 7th, 1959, Russell Celtics hosted Chamberlain's Warriors, and it was often referred to as the Big Collision or the Battle of the Titans. Chamberlain would outscore Russell 30-22. The Celtics would end up winning the game. And just as this goes back and forth over the years, this become one of the biggest rivalries in basketball history. They become, one of the Celtics titles came against Chamberlain's Warriors when they moved to San Francisco in '64. So the argument could be made, though, that Russell has 11 championship rings. You know how many rings Chamberlain's got?
2.
2. If I'm remembering correctly, 2. I put in the notes.
Well, that speaks volumes there. Then.
Bill would have a quote to the Boston Herald in 1995, and I'll leave you with this. I was the villain because I was so much bigger and stronger than anyone else out there. Oh, excuse me. Chamberlain said that. People tend not to root for Goliath, and Bill back then was just a guy who had a really great laugh, jovial guy. Plus, he played on the greatest team ever, the Celtics. My team was losing, he was winning, so it would be natural that I would be jealous. Not true. Chamberlain would go on to say, I'm more happy with the way things turned out. Our rivalry, he drew the best out against me. He is the best player I've ever shared a court with.
That's pretty high praise.
Okay. Shout out me.
Yes.
What do I manage to work into every episode?
A wrestling reference.
Or a story. Got one.
Okay.
This past weekend. Last weekend.
All right.
Big weekend in pro wrestling. Huge weekend going down. StarCast 5. It's like a wrestling convention.
Okay.
SummerSlam went down from Titan Stadium in Nashville. Jim Crockett Promotions was revived. That's where Flair made a name for himself in the 80s.
Okay.
They were a branch of the NWA before it became WCW. Jim Crockett Promotions. They were brought back for one night for Ric Flair's last match. Okay.
Okay.
This event was promoted by Ric Flair's son-in-law, the Podfather, my inspiration for podcasting, Conrad Thompson, Ric Flair's son-in-law. Okay. Anyways, Ric Flair's last match went down Sunday, July 31st. They did it from the Nashville Municipal Auditorium. Okay? No big deal. Why should I be talking about this? Because there's some cool shit that went down. First of all, Flair's fucking 73 years old and decided that after being retired once, unretiring, and coming back in the ring, he wanted to go in the ring and wrestle again. This is 5 years after he had
heart attack,
major medical issues, and he was on life support for a few days.
Okay.
So this was huge news.
Woo!
They had a huge card. It was such a big event. You had talent from all over professional wrestling. Countless promotions show up. Cameo videos were played in the arena from guys like Lawler, Jerry Jarrett, The Undertaker, Mick Foley, Sting, Diamond Dallas Page.
Who did he wrestle?
So he wrestled Jeff Jarrett.
Okay.
So it was a tag match. Ric Flair and his other son-in-law, Andre Eladio, who is a Lucha Libre wrestler who's married to Ric Flair's daughter, Charlotte. And they wrestled against Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. And I'm going to tell you guys about Jay Lethal because Kurt doesn't know.
No.
I got to show him video later. Jay Lethal is one of the best guys I've ever watched work. I've been a fan of his ever since the early TNA days, like 05, 06, 07. Jay Lethal is known for two things in wrestling, to me, besides being a great worker. He's known for doing probably one of the top 2 or 3 Macho Man Randy Savage impersonations. Hop in your Google machine, get on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
He's also known for doing probably the best Ric Flair impersonation. And they caught that shit and filmed it live on television in TNA Impact back in 2009, 2010, where literally Jay Lethal's at the top of the stage, Ric Flair's in the ring, and Lethal is mocking every movement Flair makes, copying him, woo for woo. They're having woo offs, like some hardcore. It's just fucking great shit, dude. It's such good shit. Here, but I want to talk about this because this was big. So, this event was originally scheduled for the Nashville Fairgrounds, which is where Memphis TV used to run.
Okay.
You know, they run Louisville Garden Tuesday nights, Coliseum in Evansville
right.
Wednesday nights. They'd run the Mid-South Coliseum in Memphis on Monday nights. Saturday morning, Memphis TV. Saturday night, Nashville Fairgrounds. And they made these towns 52 weeks a year every week.
Dave Brown?
Lance Russell. So they were originally going to do this at the Fairgrounds in Nashville, and they had changed the name to the Flair Grounds. The Flair Grounds. They had a promotion. It was on the news. But they kept selling tickets. They sold too much, so they moved it to the auditorium because they kept selling tickets. This turned out to be one of the best performing independent wrestling shows in recent memory. The show racked up between damn near 30,000 pay-per-view buys across all platforms. That's pretty big news. That's 30, Ticket sales also pulled in some impressive numbers. There was almost 7,000, rumored to be about 7,000 fans in attendance. I don't know how accurate that really is. But they did damn near, let me check the numbers here. They did almost 450, they almost did $500,000 at the gate.
Damn it.
Gate prices, ticket prices, and merchandise. They did over, with merchandise figured in, they probably did do close to $500,000. So it's a pretty big achievement. This was the first show promoted by Conrad Thompson, who is the whole reason I got into podcasting anyways.
Right.
Talking about wrestling. It's Ric Flair's son-in-law. He hosts multiple wrestling podcasts, does them with Arn Anderson, does one with Jeff Jarrett, did one with Ric Flair.
Well, okay, we got to know who won.
Well, okay, so so at the end of the match, of course, you have to send the folks home happy.
With Ric Flair victory.
Ric Flair victory. And, of course, Ric Flair in his last match at 73, nobody's going to tell him no. Ric Flair did a blade job, and he was covered. I mean, that bleached blonde hair, it was bleached gray, I guess I should call it now. There's blood everywhere. So you do the right thing. You send the fans home happy. I would have called an audible. Rick's last match, I would have had the bad guys win and piss everybody off.
Right.
Good way to get heat for Jeff Jarrett, who is getting more active in the wrestling business again. He's currently working in a backstage role for WWE now, but he's also been in the camera with this Ric Flair final match thing. So, anyways, I would have just gave the bad guys the win and had him have the city of Nashville try to kill him. Ric Flair went out to a big after party and partied with Kid Rock and a bunch of celebrities in Nashville that night.
Cool.
Yeah, Kid Rock. Let's party with Kid Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
73-year-old wrestling.
73-year-old. He wanted to get back in the ring.
Huh.
Now, he said he's done. Now, there's been rumored promoters. There's some promoters that are offering him upwards of, $1 million, $500,000, whatever, to get back in the ring. But he said he felt like that would cheat his fans out of what was his final retirement match, because he retired once in 2008.
I'd say he's done now.
Okay.
I mean, woo!
I try to give you guys like good shit just for laughs and entertainment. Get on YouTube. That's all I can tell you. And I've mentioned this in episodes in passing, and specifically on our pro wrestling episode last summer, about a year ago this time, almost a year ago. Check out Ric Flair. Just put Ric Flair promos in the search bar on YouTube. And if you want to be extremely specific, put Pacific.
I'll be Atlantic. You be Pacific.
Fuck! I got a speech impediment tonight. Fuck! I need more water.
You be Pacific, and I'll be Atlantic.
Okay, I need more water.
Kyle, you be the Gulf of Mexico.
Or the Indian Ocean.
Or the Arctic Ocean. Yeah.
The Arctic is very cold.
Yeah.
Okay. I lost my motherfucking train of thought. To be more specific, 1980s for the whole 80s to the 90s decade.
Check out some Ric
I
Flair.
mean, you would not the over the top feet.
Yeah.
Animation, the theatrics of it all.
Wise ass.
Oh, dude, I could literally. So, he was feuding with Ric Flair's the Nature Boy. He took it from Buddy Rogers. There was a third Nature Boy that started making his rounds in the late 80s, early 90s. Buddy Landau, sorry. It just didn't pan out. Buddy kind of pissed his career away. He could have been probably one of my favorite Ric Flair promos. He's just arguing about Nature Boy Buddy Landau. He said, I've made more money. He said, I've spent, Buddy Landau, I spent more money on spilled liquor in bars all over this goddamn country than you've made in your entire career. So don't tell me nothing about nothing. Just over the top theatrics. He said, my shoes cost more than your house. He said, I'm wearing an $800 pair of alligator shoes, and I don't know what you're wearing. I would be embarrassed to put that shit on me. Like, just Ric Flair's a gift from the heavens, promo-wise. He's been in some recent water.
The best.
He's been in some hot water lately, and just, anyways.
He's the best as far as I'm concerned as a promo.
There seems to be a lot of, yes, very much. There seems to be a lot of talk of sexual assault going on lately, because I was just ending the segue where Rick's been in trouble in about the last year due to sexual assault allegations coming out from the infamous Plane Ride from Hell episode, which I'll tell you that story off air sometime.
All right.
So we're going to jump from sexual assault to sexual assault. Let's finally talk about DeShaun Watson.
Yeah.
Okay. For those of you that want to know complete breakdowns of what's going on with DeShaun Watson, Google, YouTube, mainly Google, or ask any red-blooded, white, black, Hispanic, purple, Asian, whoever you want, female in this country. I'm sure they can give you some advice on it. DeShaun Watson, hell of an athlete, most likely a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Most likely. So I'm not going into complete full details. Kurt and I talked about DeShaun in passing on one of our first or second Weeknight Chronicle episodes back in March or April. So, Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
Coach Kevin Stefanski said Friday the team is waiting to see what happens with the NFL's appeal of DeShaun Watson's 6-game suspension before altering its plans at quarterback in practice. The NFL's appeal. It's not Deshaun Watson's appeal. It's the NFL's appeal. The NFL is appealing it. There's money.
Yeah.
Sports is a business.
Yes.
Deshaun Watson being on the sidelines
is
bad
not making
business.
money. That's right.
So far at this point in training camp, though, Watson has been there, and he's took the overwhelming majority of the snaps with the first team. You know who their backup is this season? Jacoby Brissett.
That's it. Yeah.
Again, I would have been happy with giving Brissett another run at the ship, but they went out. The Colts went out and signed Phillip Rivers. Rivers left, then we got Carson Wentz. Now Carson's gone. We got Matt Ryan, but that's something else for something else. We're not talking about that right now. Coach said we're kind of waiting for clarity on the situation. Until that time, we're going to continue to go ahead with doing what we're doing. DeShaun will get the majority of snaps with the first team. So the NFL announced Wednesday that it was appealing the ruling of disciplinary officer Sue Robinson, a former federal judge, as it seeks a tougher penalty under the league's personal conduct policy. The NFL's appeal addresses whether, based on the findings made by Judge Robinson, the discipline should be modified to include a professional evaluation and treatment as determined by medical experts in an appropriate fine and a longer suspension.
Agreed.
Okay. Then Roger Goodell, that stupid son of a bitch, got his nose in this. On Thursday, the NFL announced Goodell had appointed a former New Jersey Attorney General, Peter Harvey, to hear the appeal. Harvey works now as a partner at the Patterson-Belknap firm in New York. He also served as a federal prosecutor and is currently serving as a member of the National Football League's Diversity Advisory Committee. Okay, I know. I just seen you out of the corner of my eye. Okay, he's serving as the Diversity Advisory Committee. Diversity. Ethnicities, people of color, giving them opportunities, making things fair. Okay, fuck all that. We're not worried about that.
Right.
The guy that's going to hear the appeal is on an NFL committee and is friends with Goodell. Okay?
Okay.
Harvey served as Goodell's designee in other arbitrations in years past. Most recently, in 2017, Harvey was one of 4 members of an expert panel who reviewed the league's domestic violence investigation into Dallas Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott, who was suspended 6 games and fucking cost me my championship that season, by the way, for violating conduct policy. Okay. So he's already on this committee. Okay, well, let me finish that. Let me finish that a little bit here. The NFL Players Association said Friday that it filed its reply brief to the NFL's proposal. There's no timeline for when Harvey will hear the appeal. According to the league's personal conduct policy, it must be done under an expedited basis. Under the new CBA agreement, Harvey's written decision will constitute full, final, and complete disposition of the dispute and a whole bunch of other legality shit that I'm not going to read. Friday, some of the players from the Cleveland organization said they were ready for an answer. We kind of need a lot of them basically like we need to know what the fuck's going on. We need to know how to prepare for the season.
Right.
It's right now, as of me sitting at Kurt's table at 9:28 p.m. on a Sunday night, he's suspended for 6 games.
Bullshit.
As of right now. I have a feeling that's going to change.
Well,
And here's why. For those of you who need a brief recap, Watson has been accused of sexual assault and other inappropriate conduct with females during massage session. God damn it, I can't talk. During massage sessions in civil lawsuits filed by 25 women.
25.
These encounters allege the lawsuits took place from March of 2020 to March of 2021, while DeShaun Watson was the starting quarterback for the Houston Texans. Now, Watson set out last season with the Texans after requesting a trade from Houston earlier in the offseason.
Right.
In issuing the 6-game suspension, Robinson wrote that the NFL carried its burden to prove by a preponderance of the evidence that Watson engaged in sexual assault as defined by NFL against the 4 therapists identified in the report. However, in imposing the suspension, Robinson pointed out flaws in the legal guidelines for a player misconduct, which basically loopholes
Right.
she's not allowed to penalize him for. Now, Watson has settled out of court. Did I put it in here? I did not put it in here. So far, he has settled out of court like 20-something cases of these 25 cases. Settlements.
Right.
Get them over, get them done. Okay?
Which is an admission to what?
I guess.
Guilt? I mean,
Maybe.
well, I mean, if you're settling with somebody.
Well, I mean, some people, sell them just to get them to go away. But yeah, probably.
Yeah.
While they had to look through precedent and cases in NFL past about this, Robinson sought to differentiate between violent and nonviolent sexual conduct, which it's sexual assault. I don't give a fuck if it was violent or nonviolent.
Right. If she says no,
I don't care if you bent you over the table and raped you, or if he just you went down and gave him oral sex. That shouldn't matter. It's a violation of a woman's.
right.
Violent or nonviolent doesn't hold no fucking place here.
No, it don't.
So, what is interesting about this, Kurt? And I took a screenshot of this, and I wanted to show you this. And I keep saying the word "this" to draw out emphasis while I search for this. I got a text that said "fuck you," and I don't know who it's from. Wrong number, probably. It's about DeShaun Watson, if I can find it. Okay, here we go. Is that... Nope, that's not it. Son of a bitch. Where is it at, Kurt? I know I took a picture of it. So, Monday, Wednesday... Well, I can't find it now. Basically, it was about the DeShaun thing. Okay, here we go. So to give everybody an idea, my show, Kurt's show, we run long. It happens. Kurt's not tired yet. Chantrell Henderson. I don't have the years for all these. Chantrell Henderson suspended 14 games for marijuana. He had Crohn's disease. For any of you know, personally know 2 people that have Crohn's disease. They shit soup. They shit soup multiple times a day. They started smoking marijuana. They don't have IBS. They poop solid turds now. All because they're smoking marijuana. Okay? He was suspended 14 games for weed.
Oh, boy.
Okay? Josh Gordon has been suspended for the better half of 6 years
For smoking.
for smoking weed. Calvin Ridley, 17-plus games for betting $1,500 on games he had no result in. Tom Brady, 4 games for being made aware that the pressure in footballs.
Yeah, it needs
I
to
fucking
be
hate you, Tom Brady.
Yeah,
but he knew about, in a game that the Colts would never win. Ray Rice, 2 games for beating the shit out of his fiance, and it was caught on tape.
In an elevator,
In an elevator. Adrian Peterson, felony child abuse against his own kid, causing bruising on the child's testicles. 6 games. Deshaun Watson, 24 allegations of sexual misconduct. 6 games. Greg Hardy, a real piece of shit, beat the fuck out of his girlfriend, threatened her, had guns in her mouth. Guns in her mouth was the rumor. 10 games reduced to 4. Ezekiel Elliott, beating the shit out of women. 6 games. Kareem Hunt, 2 violent incidents. 8 games. Josh Brown, the kicker, domestic violence. 6 games. Leonard Little of the Rams, formerly of the Rams, and Dante Stallworth, one of my all-time favorite receivers, vehicular homicide. 8 games. Henry Ruggs, the
list goes on.
Yeah, Henry Ruggs, the one who was just involved in the felony DUI homicide in Las Vegas last year. No penalty by the NFL as of yet, although he was released by the Raiders. So
I see a pattern here.
And what makes this all the more funny is that Cleveland traded for Watson in March. They sent 3 first-round draft picks to the Texans. Cleveland would then give Watson a new 5-year contract that has made him the richest player in NFL history. And there's no deal yet whether he's going to play or not.
I'm against it myself in playing, but
so I want you to go back to. I want to go back to our weeknight episode, the first or second one we ever done. We talked about this deal going down, and I said, and I didn't want to focus on the allegations. I just wanted to focus on the athlete. And you asked me, do I make that trade? And I say 10 times out of 10, I make that trade because he's a once in a generation talent, and he is. But this comes with a lot of baggage.
Yeah.
And now that he's only getting 6 games for this, I mean,
I don't do it 10 times out of 10 because I don't know if he's got what it takes to be a Super Bowl quarterback. Just from his actions.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. That's the Browns, though. I mean,
this is the funniest thing in Cleveland Browns history because you have a capable quarterback who I still supported in Baker Mayfield, and the Browns aren't my team. You kind of give him the old push off because you're trying to get Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Then you find out Deshaun Watson and the Texans have no interest whatsoever in bringing you to Cleveland. Well, then you've done pissed off Baker.
Yeah.
So then you try to get Baker to coddle back, and he doesn't want nothing to do with you. And then a week later, somehow you miraculously, 3 first-round picks and cash and other unmentionables, Deshaun comes to Cleveland.
Yeah.
And now Baker's,
Where did he go to?
I thought the Panthers, but I'm not sure.
That's right. He went to Carolina. Yeah, that's right.
Okay. We got so much shit. We're still. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So the trade deadline came and passed last week. MLB.
Right.
first things first, the people that weren't traded, the Angels held on to reigning AL MVP, who is a pitcher, Shohei Ohtani. There you go again, pitchers winning MVPs.
All right.
But he's got a bat. I mean, it's working. So it's not like when Verlander got it.
Right.
Let's see, J.D. Martinez, Martin Perez, some of those guys kept. The Cubs held on to Wilson Contreras.
Padres made some big.
Okay, so yeah, that's the big one. Okay, so the highlight of the deadline, or maybe of the year, or the last few years, has what is the San Diego Padres are looking to be probably one of the most dangerous teams in baseball now.
Yeah, but they can't win.
It's the Well, they're gonna start. So they made some trades for Juan Soto, one of the premier stars of the league, who's only like 22, 23.
If they're going to start winning, they need to shore up their bullpen.
They brought in Josh Bell. They sent Mackenzie Gore, Robert Hassel III, C.J. Abrams, James Woods, and some other players to the Nationals. The Padres also pulled off another deal to acquire reliever Josh Hader from the Brewers.
Right.
Hader hit some bumps earlier in the season, but he's as dominant as any closer in the game when he's on point. San Diego sent its own struggling closer, Taylor Rogers, plus some other prospects. Hader's under the Padres' control for a couple seasons. So now with Soto, Bell, Hader, and Fernando Tatis Jr., who is getting ready to start practicing again soon.
Well, I thought he played.
Or maybe he's already playing.
He played yesterday, I think.
Okay. So every team in Major League Baseball made a trade except for one. The Colorado Rockies didn't make a single trade. I'm trying to look at some other big news here, trade-wise. The Yankees made some moves. They didn't get Castillo, but they were able to make a deal for Frankie Montas. They sent Oakland a bunch of prospects and some pitchers. They moved Luis Severino to the 60-day IL, so Montas is set to be a huge member of the rotation. They also sent Jordan Montgomery to the Cardinals. Not Colson Montgomery. That was the Huntingburg kid. This is a different Montgomery. And he started for the Cardinals against the Yankees this weekend. Basically, Brian Cashman, the GM for the Yankees, has been on the move. So if they don't make the postseason, or win a championship,
they're gonna make the postseason.
Yeah. And I think that's really about it as far as big news goes. The Padres also got Brandon Drury from. They got Brandon Drury. So I got some hit. Jacob deGrom returned to the Mets lineup. Quiet deadline for the Dodgers, who they required reliever Chris Martin and picked up a few. Joey Gallo, who is a failed Yankees player for all intents and purposes. And that's about it. The Phillies came away with everything we hoped to get, I guess, according to the Phillies website. We got a starter, an outfielder, and a reliever. Two of them came from the Angels, who sent Brandon Marsh to Philadelphia for our catcher prospect. And then we later traded Noah Syndergaard for Mickey Montak, plus a prospect. I can't pronounce that name. Anyways, fuck it. And then we got a veteran reliever from the Cubs. So, but yeah, the only team that did not make a trade was the Colorado Rockies. Okay. Mike Tyson.
Okay.
Mike Tyson's in the news. He spoke out against Hulu, the streaming service.
Yeah.
I have Hulu. I love Hulu. I like Hulu. I like Netflix. I guess from what I've read about this is there's a documentary series what Hulu's going to be fuck, I cannot talk. Releasing about Tyson. And boxing legend Mike Tyson continues to speak out against Hulu's decision to move forward with a documentary series about his life. Tyson released a statement to Entertainment Tonight after the series' executive producer said the boxer couldn't be involved in the project because of rights issues. That's what it was. Tyson said, quote, "That's a flat-out lie. My life rights options expired years ago. Hulu nor any of their team ever tried to engage in negotiations with this black man. In their eyes, I am still just a blank on the auction block, ready to be sold for their profit without any regard for my worth or my family. They say this story is about an exploration of a black man's life. It's more like a fucking exploitation of a black man's life. Hulu thinks they're covering their tracks by hiring black sacrificial lambs to play the part as frontmen for their backdoor robbery, and it's appalling. I will always remember this blatant disregard of my dignity."
Wow.
Tyson with a fucking savage call.
Yeah.
So, in June, Hulu announced that it would release a series titled Mike, starring a guy named Trevante Rhodes as Mike Tyson on August 25th. It's an 8-episode show exploring the tumultuous ups and downs of Tyson's boxing career and his personal life, from beloved global athlete to the depths of hell and back. Now, in March of 2021, a separate biopic titled Tyson with Jamie Foxx in the lead role was pitched to networks as a limited TV series. Tyson was to serve as executive producer for that project. Meanwhile, Rhodes, the guy that was talking about the thing with Entertainment Tonight, said Tyson, I guess anyway, they're not looking at Tyson in the right light. He's pissed. Tyson's pissed. Yeah, basically. I don't want to keep going on about it, but
damn it. I mean,
Tyson's pissed. They're doing a biopic about him, and nobody's asked him about it. And if you're doing something about that with somebody that's a well-known celebrity like that, they should be an executive producer or something in some form. Tyson thinks they're just out there exploiting for money. They said they look at me like a black man on the auction block. I mean,
it kind of appears that way if they don't go to him for any information.
And he didn't say blank word. He said the N word, which I don't know if I could say that in quotes or not. That's it's probably not. Shouldn't say it, but so,
yeah, I'm not going there.
Yeah, Kurt's like, I'm not going there.
I'll save it for 2K.
We have 1, 2, 3, 4 things left to cover.
Okay.
You straight?
I'm good yet.
Okay. So I know you love stories about young kids and got the world by the balls and just signed major league contracts or on the verge of being drafted and have the whole world by the balls and fuck up, right? Auburn quarterback TJ Finley was arrested and charged with attempting to evade police, a misdemeanor charge, on Thursday, the same day Auburn players were supposed to report to campus for preseason camp. According to police, he was released Thursday from the Lee County, Alabama Detention Center, and Auburn coach Brian Harsin said the university is completely aware of Finley's situation and confirmed to them that the quarterback was back at the football complex. He's here. He'll be here tonight. He'll practice tomorrow. We're aware of what's going on. Right now, he's still the starter. But anyways, I guess the arrest stemmed from several traffic violations Finley made on July 26. Police say he was not wearing a helmet while on the back of a motorcycle and fled from officers attempting to make a traffic stop on 2 separate occasions. Officers would have to terminate the pursuit as a matter of safety because of high rates of speed.
Damn it.
Finley's attorney called it the arrest a simple misunderstanding. I don't.
Wonders me is why was he running? What was he holding something or what?
I don't know. These young kids.
Yeah. Huh.
But Finley was competing for the starting quarterback job this preseason. He started 3 games a year ago after Bo Nix was injured. Why this makes even more is because he just became the first college player to ink a NIL deal, name, image, likeness, with Amazon. So, got some more baseball.
All right.
Miguel Cabrera.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. He talked Friday about his future in baseball. He told the Detroit News that he will return for a 21st Major League season in 2023. I guess a few days prior to that, he told reporters that this season could be his last as he continues to deal with knee issues. It's marked the first time that Cabrera has opened the door to the possibility that he may not be retiring. But now he's, I guess, looking to fulfill his contract, which is fully guaranteed through next season. But he said on Friday that he doesn't plan on retiring just yet. He's not going anywhere else. Contract is up.
Hell of a hitter, man.
He's part of the 3,000 hit, 500 homer club earlier this season, and he was hitting 308 as recently as July 8th.
Damn it.
But he's struggling since, only hitting 131 in his last 21 games. He turns 40 in April. So,
Yeah. Well, it's probably winding down for sure.
I got 2 things note-wise, and then we're gonna wind down after we got a little spitballing to do.
All right.
So, when we go do this collaboration with After 2 Beers, the episode that we record with them, we're going to talk about what? Sports cards, right?
Yeah.
So, Honus Wagner,
Yeah.
the T206, the Holy Grail of sports cards.
Right.
We've been talking about this. And it's rare and it's authenticated. It just sold at auction with New Jersey-based Golden Auctions, who we were talking about
Right.
the Bobby Bonilla
Right.
Day contract. It just sold at auction for $7.25 million, the most expensive sports trading card of all time.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah.
That's a lot of scratch.
Now, among the other pricey trading cards sold within the last couple years, a 52 Mickey Mantle rookie card, a 52 Mickey Mantle sold for $5.2 million in January last year. A LeBron James Upper Deck rookie jersey card sold for $5.2 million and last year, and a 1933 Babe Ruth card sold for $4.2 million on an online auction this past summer. So now another card up for auction, possibly. A 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle card online right now. $6.1 million currently is the bid. So,
Wow.
and they have till the end of the month to bid these. But these Honus Wagner cards are extremely rare. There's fewer than 50 copies that have been certified by card grading services. A total of 200 of them were issued between 1909 and 1911. This was by the American Tobacco Company, the ATC, which would feature a portrait of Wagner on the front and an advertisement for tobacco on the back. It's like the holy grail of sports cards.
Wow.
So,
Only 200 printed.
yeah.
Yeah. I wonder how many. Yeah, 50? That's known. I wonder how many out there. Someone's got that one. Another one.
That we don't know
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
The NFL Hall of Fame thing went down this past weekend, and I didn't even think to put that in the fucking notes. I was working on the notes at like 2 o'clock this morning.
I've seen you text me like 4:30 in the morning.
You were already sleeping.
I was sleeping, yeah.
Yeah. So, I guess as we start to wind down, the last topic I have note-wise on the computer, and unfortunately, I didn't want to talk about this, but we're going to have to talk about
Okay.
this. You know where this is going.
Uh,
You can see the computer screen.
I can't see.
Britney Griner.
Okay.
We're going to have to talk about it.
All right.
I didn't want to,
Okay.
but we're responsible to our listeners.
All right.
However few they are.
Right. Right.
Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, I mean, we got to.
We got to. So, a Russian court sentenced Griner to 9 years in prison on Thursday. And that was no surprise. Pretty sure she knew she was going to be jailed. She was arrested February 17th for bringing cannabis into the country. She's been prepared for a harsh sentence. Sources closer to her say I don't know. She pled guilty on July 7th. The case continued under Russian law. During the sentencing, the judge said she'd found that Griner intentionally broke law and fined her 1 million rubles, which is about $17,000 in American money.
Okay.
The judge said the time Griner has served in custody since her arrest in February would count towards her sentence. Griner acted to the sentence with little emotion. She just sat there with a blank stare on her face and didn't say nothing. As she was let out of court, she says, "I love my family." The 9-year sentence was close to a maximum of 10 years that she had faced under the charges. Prosecutors asked for a 9.5-year sentence. Griner's defense lawyers said they would appeal it. The defense team said that sentencing in the court ignored all evidence it had presented in Griner's guilty plea.
Come on, Russia. What the hell?
Griner's been up very upset. Her lawyers said they expect a hearing in Moscow Regional Court next week. Asked if Griner could get a pardon from Russian President Vladimir Putin, her attorney said they would consider every possibility, but the lawyers said they were not part of any discussions between the countries about a prisoner swap. Now, your boy, LJB, let's go Brandon, he's been getting involved in this, or attempting to. He's made some comments about it. People are on his ass about him organizing a prisoner swap to bring her home. He said a wrongful sentence that is one more reminder of what the world already knew. Russia is wrongfully detaining Britney, and Biden hasn't come out and said it, but him as well as a lot of people believe that it's all a slight at the American people. Griner was just wrong place, wrong time. The WNBA commissioners and NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, in a joint statement, said that the verdict was terrible, it was bad, everything you'd expect them to say about it.
Right.
So now there's talks about, are they going to bring it home? And I guess last week, officials with the United States government said that they have offered a deal for Griner's return. And sources said the deal would trade convicted Russian arms dealer Victor Bout for Griner and fellow American Paul Whelan, who has been in Russian custody since being arrested on espionage charges almost 4 years ago. Griner's strategy throughout the trial was to treat it as a legitimate proceeding, knowing that a guilty verdict was pretty much a foregone conclusion, and that any deal to send her home would require an admission of guilt. So Griner's told the court she made an honest mistake growing up, and she talked about the sense of responsibility she had from growing up with the parents and the way she was raised. So there's nothing been said yet. The United States country or government has put the offer out there about bringing old girl home.
I don't see him taking it.
Here's my thought. Griner's coming home, but she's gonna sit for a while. I mean,
Yeah.
Putin's.
I mean, that was the law there, I guess. I mean,
You would not believe the people bashing this young lady all over social media, like, well, bitch, you wanted social, they're just trolling her.
yeah.
Because, she took one of the knees and the anthem and everything, and now she wants America to save her, and she's just getting ridiculed by the internet. But
That's because there's a bunch of assholes.
yeah, I mean, she's a hell of an athlete. I don't really care about what she believes and stands up in. She wants to believe what she believes. That's fine for her. I don't have to believe
Just
in
a
it.
little weed.
It's just so that's what it's marijuana, and it's a political game. We want
No.
no.
No. I ain't jumping on that train.
You ain't jumping on that train.
No, well, I mean, how is it legal?
I don't remember how many grams she had.
State And how is it federally illegal?
Legalize marijuana.
Hey, get over it. Yes, yeah.
It's about control.
It is. It always has
Tell
been.
me I'm wrong. It's about control.
It always has been, yeah. Yes. It's government, another form of government.
Government overreach.
Yes. I remember all the promos for the commercials and shit. This is your brain, the brain on drugs. Oh boy.
Some people focus better, control better with marijuana. I can't answer that. I often wonder if I would take edibles or if I would smoke, what that would do for me. What would that do for your mental health?
Well,
there has to be studies proving that marijuana leads you out of depression and out of...
Well, yeah.
Show me one person that's angry on pot. I've never... Yeah, fucking come at me and Kurt right now. Show me one person you've ever seen pissed off and violent on pot. Because I can show you 1,000 of them motherfuckers on crank or alcohol or whatever. But show me one pissed off, violent person beating the shit out of somebody high off marijuana.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's a fact. There's a lot of smart people that smoke marijuana. So...
There's... Every famous person does it.
Yeah.
Like, pretty much all these celebrities, like...
A lot of athletes.
You know who I'm followed by on Twitter? I can't think of his name right now. He played on... He had some supporting roles on Big Bang Theory. He wasn't like a full-time cast member.
I never watched this show, but...
He created a Pokeball.
Oh, yeah?
What that does is, you set your bowl down on there and you poke it and it cleans all your shit out, right?
Yeah.
Okay? He has become a huge marijuana activist. He never smoked before until a few years ago, I guess, and it totally changed his life. So now, in addition to being a Hollywood actor with some B-rolls and stuff,
right.
but he's been on popular television shows like Hot in Cleveland and Big Bang Theory. He created Pokeball. And I've seen it too, and I was like, what the fuck is a Pokeball?
Huh.
He literally, the bowl, pipes, whatever, it's got this long stick, it looks like a toothpick, but it's huge. You set your bowl on there, ram it up down 3 or 4, and all that shit that's caked on the inside, what do you call that, residue? That shit just all galumps into this ashtray looking thing, and then you open it, dump it all out, wipe it out, it's done.
You smoke it.
Oh, God. Well, maybe, whatever. I mean, whatever you do.
Yeah, I mean,
but,
it's just weed. Come on, people.
I mean, there's a lot of leagues that aren't even drug testing for marijuana anymore.
A lot of places, not even.
A lot of employers aren't even drug testing for marijuana anymore. Now, would I smoke it every day? Probably not.
If I was going, if you come to me and was like, man, I want to get high, I would probably try. I'd probably say try the edibles first, since you quit smoking anyway. You know what I mean?
How is anybody gonna get fucked up eating a gummy bear? I mean, that's
personally,
when they tell me marijuana's edible form, I think of gummy bears.
Well, yeah, it could be in a gummy bear form. It might fuck your world up too. I mean, you probably want to try, probably not an indica, probably more like a sativa strain. Now, and I know this by, I don't know how I know this, but yeah.
That's it, folks. We're just going to let this play the rest of the night. Kurt goes, I don't know how I know, but I know.
But I know. Yes.
You're so full of shit, your eyes are brown. Oh, no, wait, they're red. Never mind.
Yeah. Actually, hazel. Okay,
so let's start to tie a bow. That wraps up that. What's next for Steel Toes and Scoreboards? Well, a lot.
Yeah.
A lot coming up.
Busy.
So, I guess, and I've talked about this in my mini episodes without Kurt, when I get the anchor, just to get on and record. There will, as we cruise towards the, another one of the top 5 biggest fights in boxing this year I've been talking about. Alexander Usyk versus Anthony Joshua. We're cruising towards that. We're 2-3 weeks out from that. I'll do an episode without Kurt unless maybe Kurt wants to sit in on it. I'll do an episode about that, getting us prepped. That'll either be a pre-fight episode or a post-fight episode about that, talking about that, breaking it down either before the fight happens or after, just depending on the schedule. I am working hard on launching these other podcasts this year. I've been in talk with 3 different people about the wrestling podcast, so that's coming. The outdoors podcast with the guys, my homies, 2 of my best friends, that's coming for sure in the works. They're actually going to order us all boom mics.
I got to sit in on one of them. Yeah.
That they're going to order, they're going to take care of boom mics. I told them I'd do it, and they said, no, let us get them. They're actually going to order the boom mics and the scissor table stands and keep them in the studio we're putting in Dalton's basement. So all my equipment that I use for me and you will always come with me. The only thing I'll take is just my recorder and the headphones. That's going on. After 2 Beers. Cannot say enough about After 2 Beers podcast. We are scheduled to record September 10th, I believe. It's a Saturday. Kim, she Dutch calls her Gibbler. Her name's Kim, but he calls her Kimmy Gibbler. Yeah, remember Full House? Full House. Yeah. So Gibbler's got plans earlier in the day, so they'll be ready for me and Kurt about 5 o'clock Saturday night. So me and Kurt's going to head up probably about 1 or 2 o'clock that afternoon because I'm going to stop and feed Kurt because I like to eat. Kurt likes to eat. Yeah. And I'm going to drive because I have AC and Kurt don't have AC. So I'm going to drive. We're going to record with them, and then they're going to record with us on my equipment. I don't know what we're going to talk about.
Maybe we could have some feedback of what.
Well, maybe. The episode with them, though, unless plans have changed, Dutch wants to talk about sports cards, baseball cards, basketball, football cards. So, I've had some interesting shit falling in my lap with baseball cards lately. And Kurt doesn't know this. He's about to. So I went hunting for my cards, and I couldn't find them. And I know they weren't sitting in my dad's storage building. I know I had to move them with me every time I moved houses because it was important to me as a kid. Right. There's some money in some of these cards.
Right.
I stopped collecting cards when I was 13 years old. That was in the year 2000. I turned 35 2 days ago.
Happy birthday, belated birthday.
Hey, thanks, bro. Thanks, bro. I finally found my cards, and then I found some more. And then I decided, you know what the hell? There was nothing better as a boy than opening a bag or a boxing cards. So I found a deal for like 600 baseball cards for like $20. And I got some good deals on them. I bought them off of Amazon. And then a good friend of mine, a really good friend of mine who right now is nameless, he posted something on one of the pages on Facebook like, hey, come to my yard sale this week. I've got like 40,000 cards across everything. And I was like, we need to talk.
Yeah.
So him and I started talking, and I bought a few cards from him, and I guess now we have a business. Now we are in the business of selling sports cards and memorabilia. So how that has happened is we've created a Facebook page and a Facebook group where we can sell things, and we're also going to list on eBay. We went through the rigmarole of trying to pick a name. He's the majority partner right now because he has most of the capital. I'm just starting. So anything of my own that I sell is my profit. Anything we sell together as partners, it's a 90-10 split in his favor, which I told him he didn't even have to give me that 10%. I mean, if we move $1,000 on a weekend, I'm going to get $100 out of it. And you know what? That's more than fair to me. You don't have to give me shit.
Right.
I just wanted to learn, help him out. But we've started a group on Facebook where you can check out the listings that we have. I am going to list on eBay. I am in the process right now of going through sorting and listing probably close to 10,000 cards and memorabilia. And I found some stuff I pulled out to save for you. I'm going to bring for you that I'm just going to give you.
Yeah.
But check it out on Facebook. It's called Patoka Playmaker Cards and Memorabilia. PPC or PPC and M. We wanted something that's kind of local to the area and something that stood out. You know, there's 100 different probably Playmaker card stores everywhere. This is just Patoka Playmaker cards. Right now we're only selling online. We are looking or could be potentially looking down the road depending on how well business goes. Business has been going pretty good for him by himself. For me, I'm just getting into it. But I did move a couple Larry Birds this weekend and a couple Shaq cards. I made about $40 this weekend.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's $40 I didn't have. These weren't really more of the Shaq or Bird cards that held a lot of worth. 3 of these cards were not in the best of shape, and the other card was one of the lesser known Shaq cards. So altogether, I mean, 4 cards, $40, about $10 a piece. So, whatever. Not a bad day.
There's a lot of factors go into pricing cards.
Well, and this is a business that has exploded. And it's not just about making the money. What also brought it out was when I busted out this binder. My son was with me that weekend, and he got excited. Now, to understand my son, who just turned 11 on Wednesday, so we both had birthdays within 2 days of each other, to see him get excited about these sports cards
got you excited.
Was getting me excited, because I remember what it was like, man. There was nothing better than going to Walmart when they had cards every fucking where.
Yeah.
A whole aisle just to that shit, and just deciding which one you were going to pick that week, and you'd open it up and you'd be like, oh man, I got a new Mark McGuire.
Yeah.
Oh my God, look at this Deion Sanders Cowboys card. Look, here's a Sean Kemp rookie card.
Sean Kemp, I dig me some Sean Kemp.
I love Sean Kemp. And so to understand Bentley, he's into sports a little bit, but not a lot. He's into a lot of gaming and shit right now. But he's like, he knows these cards get money. So I've connected with another guy that is a friend of my business partner who does this full time for a living, just cards. That's all he does. He makes a pretty good nut all year on this stuff. Right. So he's like, I'm gonna send your kid a box of starter kit cards to get going for his birthday. I said, you ain't gotta do that. He sent this to my son, and when he unwrapped it today at the birthday party, I'm like, he's like, what are all these? I'm like, these are cards. He goes, are these new players, current players? I'm like, some of them are. Some of them are old guys that he didn't know who they were, older players. I'm like, look, we'll sit down and go through these. I was like, some of these cards are worth some money.
Right.
I said, I can sell these for you, or you can hold on to it. But he got excited. The sports card industry is booming. eBay estimates like their usage of selling of cards has went up, hundreds and hundreds of percent in the last couple of years. They contribute a lot of this to the COVID-19
I was going to say,
pandemic.
what's going on here?
So, but it's exciting. So I guess I am now in the market of buying and selling sports cards and memorabilia. And again, we have just started listing on it's a public Facebook group you can join. And I also post updates to our Facebook page. There's 2 different things. There's a page and a group. They're both titled basically the same, but it's Patoka Playmaker Cards and Memorabilia, PPC, so check that out. And then, of course, for those of you that follow me on my own personal Facebook, you can find me there, and I share some stuff. And then I'm on Twitter at The Atkins Asylum. You can follow the podcast on Twitter at STSB Podcast.
And nobody can follow me.
Nobody. Kurt's an analog man. But I seriously, and guys, like I said, we have a couple of Patreon set up. Patreon.com or patreon.podbean.com /STSB or / however the fuck you say it. And again, we have 2 goals right now. Oh, and I was telling you, I was trying to understand how we could do all this shit because I didn't understand how we could record a bonus content for people. So basically now, what this means is when I go to release every episode, I can choose if it is regular content or a bonus episode. If it's a bonus episode, that's only available to people who pay for that episode. So maybe once we'll try that. I haven't checked on the Patreon thing to see if anybody's looked, but I will be reworking some tier rewards, but some of the rewards involved will be free publicity for your small business. We'll talk about it on every episode. The only reason we didn't talk tonight is I cannot seem to open my file with all the sponsorships on there, so sorry about that. But we'll promote your business. We will, you could sit in with us, we'll come to you and record with you. You can call in and do a guest spot on an episode. I have, I hit the toll table. I have had some people reaching out with interest in being on the podcast. check out again, Not Your Basic Dad on Twitter. That was the guy that does the bullshit with Padre with his son. He said he liked talk sports or anything with us, and actually, before I circle back to the Patreon, so this guy was already giving us some ideas for an episode. He's really liked the 3 Steel Toe episodes. The one we did about a year ago in September when my grandpa died, Ruby Ridge, Waco. He cannot wait for OKC.
Right.
But he gave me a couple of ideas, and one of them was Killdozer. And I was like, oh, God, Killdozer's one of my favorite stories. Killdozer's one where where I needed a few notes on Waco. I hardly needed any notes on Ruby Ridge. Killdozer will be one that I probably don't need a lot of notes on. Have you heard the story of Killdozer?
No, I haven't.
So, 2004, Granby, Colorado. Guy named Marvin Heemeyer. Real, down-to-earth guy, kind of backwoods. I believe you can have rednecks in Colorado.
Yeah.
He's getting into a dispute over land and everything with the city of Granby, Colorado, and struggling with the powers that can be. There's a family there that's running kind of like a hierarchy over city council, and he's trying to deal with this zoning issues and wanting to purchase extra lots or lands or something. He's getting just bottle fucked at every turn, and butt fucked with no lube by the city and all these people. So he finally says, fuck this. And he becomes a recluse for like a year or 2, maybe 3 years. The whole time he's becoming a recluse, he's using his experience as a welder and a fabricator.
Oh, no.
He's taking solid metal and hundreds of pounds of concrete. He takes a bulldozer and welds it up like a fucking tank.
Hell yeah.
I mean, like it is a fucking tank. It becomes Killdozer.
All right.
Okay, there's modified cameras protected through bulletproof glass on this thing. Okay, it was so heavy that he had to use a crane to put the lid on the top and seal it. Once this man gets inside of this tank,
there's no blowing.
He's not getting out.
Right.
So he packed a gun with him because he knew what was going to happen. There's no escaping this thing. When he's done with his joyride through town, it's over. It's Katie bar the fucking door, just lock it and go because, I'm going home to Jesus, you know?
Right.
And he goes on a path of destruction through the city, knocking down buildings and town hall. Nobody dies other than him. But this destruction goes on for an hour or 2, maybe a little more. And it's just like one of the biggest, fuck yous to the government and government over. It's Killdozer.
Yeah, that sounds pretty interesting there, dude.
So, Killdozer might be an episode we do down the road.
Yeah, I'll be down.
But,
I like it already.
Okay, so, and here's what's going on with us. We recorded tonight on a Sunday night, which we never do. We recorded on a kid weekend, which we never do unless it's a Friday. So...
we just felt there was a lot of news.
Well, right. And in keeping with that theory... technically, this coming weekend, 5 days from now, is a Saturday night. That would be when we would normally record.
Right.
I have prior commitments that night, so I won't be here. The following weekend will be a kid weekend again, so I won't be here. So we'll try to make our schedules match and get together when we can. We will still try to release a weeknight mini.
Right.
But,
which has been hard here recently.
Well, yeah, just the summer months, and I've been super busy. And actually, a week from tomorrow, I'm going out of town for work again. I'll be going to Davenport, Iowa for a few days, so I'll be out of town.
It's hot at work. I'm shot after work, man.
Yeah.
I've been coming home and taking naps and shit.
But I'm going to try to, at least, if I can't get on the phone with Kurt or I can't get in person with Kurt, I'm going to do my best to try to put some shit out myself just because... we're coming off 207 downloads. We beat our previous record of 107, and that's we added 100 extra downloads, so it's going to be a bit of a letdown and disappointing if we only end up with 30 or 40 downloads this month. But if we can get if we can hit at least 50 downloads a month, I'll be happy. But man, if it would start trending back upwards more and more, that would be awesome.
We'll have to see.
We'll have to see. But circling back to this Patreon thing real quick, because I totally got off topic with the Killdozer.
Killed over
Yeah. So we do have Patreon set up for two things. One of us is just and I might redo these, but again, it's patreon.podbean.com/STSB. It's $300 Patreon. It's for new mics and headphones. I'm going to get 2 more mics and 2 more headphones. That way Dole can sit in with us and whoever. And then the other Patreon is to just get us up to Richmond, because we're going to have about a 3.5 hour drive up there. Gas prices, whatnot. If we don't hit that one, no big deal. You don't have to contribute a damn thing if you don't want to.
Right.
But we are at the point now where, because of your guys' support, Podbean was like, hey, you guys should have a Patreon. And we're getting to the point now where 1,000 downloads, they're probably going to start soon, like I told Kurt, putting ads into our podcast, which would get me and Kurt a little bit of money. So I don't know how that's going to go over. So there's a potential for upcoming episodes where you could hear ads roll before show, after show, or in the middle of show. So, which nobody'd miss our content. Not like they miss anything with us anyways. But maybe it's starting to take off.
Maybe. Yeah.
So that brings us to the final question of, whenever we record a full-length episode again, what the hell are we going to talk about? And the list is back there, so... Or we just pick it, and we'll just text each other about it.
Yeah, let's just do that, because it's hard to come up with one just on the spot.
I know, you're right. You're not thinking. As far as the 1990 World Series episode goes, I feel happy about that now. That's gonna cycle back in, but that is gonna become just like the 2006 Colts, where we now have 2 options in the can. Note-wise, for anytime we want to do something and we don't know, like I could come over here to Kurt's house he's like, we'll just record whatever, and then we set at the table that night when we start the episode, and he's like, let's just do the 1990 World. Well, okay, then I'll just pull the note. So we now have 2 backup, plan C emergencies in the can. But as I said, we'll continue to try to put out weeknight episodes.
Right. There's always news.
Yeah, there's always news. And this is similar to that. It's just, when I actually title them current events, it's because it's a lot longer and we go more in depth. And there was a lot of shit this week, in the last week and a half, 2 weeks. Ric Flair's retiring, Bill Russell passing away, Vin Scully, Griner being sentenced to prison, the whole DeShaun Watson debacle.
Yes.
Dick Kane. And swimming. Dick Kane and swimming. All right, so you got anything? I got 3 things for you.
Okay.
3 word associations.
Okay.
DeShaun Watson.
Debacle. Yeah.
Britney Griner, 9 years in Russian prison.
Come on, Russia.
Okay.
It's a little weed.
That's a little weed. Well, actually, I got 4. Vin Russell.
And Bill Scully.
Bill Russell.
Mount Rushmore.
There you go. Vin Scully.
Oh. We lost a great ambassador to baseball.
We sure did. Bill Russell and Vin Scully, both.
Yeah.
Bill Scully and Vin Russell. That's me and Kurt's new nicknames. I'm Vin Russell and he's Bill Scully.
Oh, boy.
All right, guys. So this was a fun episode.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
and it's always good to see my brother in person.
I know, man. I've been here in a couple weeks, and I just was, like I said, I was laying there, and I was laying in bed thinking about you, and I texted you Thursday.
Time out, bro.
My 4-year-old was asleep beside me Thursday night. I was laying in bed. I was like, and remember I texted her, like, hey, I got an idea. What if, since you never go to bed late, I just come over Sunday after I take the kids back?
All right.
We'd have been done 2-3 hours ago, but we had to stop and play baseball.
Yeah, we got to have fun, too. I mean,
we played a little wiffle ball. Kurt hit me with a pitch. I got a free walk. I actually got to walk home. I tagged all 4 bases.
That's right.
But, all right, guys. So, for Kurt Kelly, I'm Jared Atkins. Keep putting out word about the podcast. Make sure to check out the card group. Make sure to check us out on Twitter and our Facebook page for the podcast. Share the word. Obviously, somebody's been sharing something because we increased our all-time download record by 100 last month. I hope that's not an outlier. I mean, obviously, I don't think we're going to grow it that much more this quick, but if we could at least start matching it like 100 a month, 50 a month.
Right.
But anyways, we thank you guys for your support, and We had to scream this episode because it's hot as fuck outside, and I told Kurt not to turn the window unit AC off. So
That's right.
all right, guys. So for Kurt, I'm Jared, and we will see you guys next week.